FM. See you on the lift.
Back attack, dude.
Bon voyage!
Hey, yo, homies, good.
Slide down them big hills, you know what I mean, on the big, nice burgundy snowboard.
All right, it is a great day here in the booth at the Bomb Hole, which is presented by Pub Beer and, of course, Run Through a Wall Smelling Salts. Now, co-hosting today, we got Alex Pashley in the booth. Alex has been in the industry for 30 years, worked for Salomon, Dragon, Smartwool, now North Face. Pash, how we doing today?
Pretty good, Jody. Thanks for having. Chris. Thanks for having me.
Welcome to the Bomb Hole. We got Silk D running the boards back there. Great kit today, Silk. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Ready to go.
You're looking good, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like the flame tee. And of course, we got Curtis Ciszek in the booth. Curtis, what's happening?
Not a lot. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm a huge fan.
Well, we are happy that you're here. And for our listeners that don't know who you are, Kurt is truly a gem in snowboarding. He has a beautiful, lighthearted approach. He also has a wild life story. He grew up living on a sailboat, sailing around the world at a young age. He's got a 20-year career as a pro snowboarder with covers, great video parts, epic trips. And now, in the summers, he's a fly fishing guide with a jet boat. He's got all kinds of fun stuff to talk about. He is a gem. But I think we should start with a recent trip you guys just went on. You went to Antarctica. I would love to hear about what that trip was all about, how it came to fruition.
Yes, Kurt.
Yep, I'll take point on this one. Yeah,
Please do. Please elaborate.
Pash was on the trip with us. So I'm actually in the middle of my guide season on the Deschutes. It's where I work. It's like 110 degrees, hot as balls. We're fishing, whatever. I get cell service in like 2 spots out there. And I get a text from Austin. He's like, "You want to go to Antarctica?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but it's September. My travel budget's freaking way in the red." And he's like, "Well, I'm just going to send out some emails. We'll see what happens." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll totally go, whatever." And then I think it's a week later. I totally forget about it. He's like, "What's your passport info?" And I was like, "You got to be fucking kidding me." And I sent it to him, blah, blah, blah. Then he sends me a confirmation number. I'm like, "Okay, we're going." And then Jake Price came down to film and Pash here to shoot photos. And then we ended up getting this guy, Jessa Gilbert, from, she works at Baldface, artist, rad chick. Insane snowboarder, too, by the way. Blew me away down there. But this is where it gets good. So it takes, to get all the way down there, it's 24 hours of travel and then a 48-hour boat ride plus a night in Ushuaia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But where you stay and then get on the boat and go across the Drake Passage, which is like the worst waterway in the world. And the whole time, our guy Jess is like, "Hey, you guys got all your stuff? Blah, 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 yeah. We're like, "Yeah, totally, we're pro snowboarders."
Like a gear checkpoint.
Gear checkpoint. Basically, the guides are supposed to check all your stuff before you go, but she's like, "These guys are pro snowboarders. They've been doing this for 20 years. They're all dialed."
Also, you should chime in there, though, that Marion Harity, who was on that trip as well, also did not have some pieces to her bindings and stuff. So she was kind of frantically trying to find stuff.
In Ushuaia. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the whole time I'm like, we are good. Let's get out there, I'm thinking about the boat trip because like you were saying, grew up on a boat. I'm like, that is the worst waterway in the world. Like Cape Horn, that whole deal. Even though we're on a freaking 300-foot cruise ship with 3 restaurants, a buffet, and 2 bars, whatever. So we start going across. We get down there. She's like, "All right, we're like the 3rd zodiac to the shore or whatever. We wake up. It looks like Alaska well, not the first morning. First morning was that island with the whaling station.
Deception Island, yeah.
Deception Island.
Yeah.
And I pull my stuff out of my bag. I've got everything except for the clips that your splitboard bindings clip into for uphill travel. The most important part, basically. I've got skins, poles, harness, blah, 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 blah. And I realize it in the room and I'm just like, oh God.
Board is basically useless.
Yeah, board
this thing.
Useless, completely useless. And I'm like, well, maybe someone on the boat has something. Talk about trying to source a very particular part in the most remote place in the world. We're talking about talking to the mechanic on the boat to see if they have a machine shop on the boat. Austin's
CNC stuff.
We should go down to the engine room and see if I'm like, I'm so fucked right now. We're in Antarctica and I can't go uphill. But okay, so luckily I brought snowshoes and a normal board because our whole goal was to go down there and actually try and catch airtime, and getting in the air on a splitboard's the worst thing in the world, basically. I mean, I'm not trash talking splitboarding whatsoever. It's just not for me. And And so we ended up like I mean, I can't sleep the first night. Like the first island spot was like, oh, you walk around, you ride some mellow thing, but you can like see the mountains in the background. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's these huge glaciers. They're all on split boards, and I'm just gonna be the dumbass in the middle with snowshoes and the snowboard on my back is just gonna fall into a crevasse or something. But long story short, we ended up riding like pretty close to the water most of the time, and the snowshoes and the snowboard was like it was better. I would have preferred that over it, but like that was like, I mean, I forgot sled keys, beacons, and the parking lot, shit like that. Like that was like, no, especially after like just come off of like a guide season where I'm like the person that's like remembering all the shit for my guests in camp and like all that, and then just get down there and the guide's just looking at me like she wouldn't let it go either. Like
No.
Oh, the best part too. The next day, Austin's like, I'll just ride my snowboard too because we're gonna stay close to this jump. Blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, sweet. So he like brings his verts down to like this weird gear room on the boat, and then like left them. But we're like the last boat, and then she has to like radio all the other guides to see if someone's still on the boat to get Austin's verts. Blah blah blah. She ends up having to get back in the Zodiac, go back to the boat, get his verts, come back. And she is fucking pissed. Like she was not happy at that point. And then Austin and I start cracking jokes like, you got any sunscreen? Blah, blah, blah. 'Cause we don't have shit, obviously. And she like kind of, like Austin fucked up that day, but I feel like she brought the heat more on me still.
Yeah. You were the punching bag for the rest of the trip for sure.
Yeah.
Good.
But it was a fantastic trip. Like the most beautiful place I've ever been in my life.
And also to provide a little bit of context, like for uphill travel, snowshoeing, for especially long ascents, is far less efficient than splitboarding. Just for the listeners that don't understand.
Oh no! So picture this: like we're all in this line, and I'm in the middle. Everyone's splitboarding, and they put me in the middle just in case I fall into a hole. And like they think it's funny to set some fucking record-setting pace. So I'm doing this light jog with the board in my hand in the middle, and I'm like trying really hard not to complain because I'm obviously like, I messed up. And then I'm just like, hey, how's the pace? Oh yeah, it's totally fine. I'm good. And then Pashley's behind me like, you fucking idiot, like the whole time.
Well, because everyone's roped up too.
roped together.
You're
Yeah.
all roped. So
Yeah.
there's about, like 10 meters in between each person. So you're all roped. So if one person's moving faster, then the other person's kind of getting drug. And so Kurt was a bit of an anchor. So to speak.
I had Price in front of me too. He's on like his hips like failing him at this point. So he was kind of slow. But then the other best part about it is like Pashley's behind me and I'm just fucking trenching the skin track, which obviously the splitboarder guys hate. I'm just like,
And we're not the only ones down there, right? Like there's a bunch of other,
God.
there's a handful of other ski groups. I think maybe, I don't know,
Oh,
70
yeah.
people or something. And so they're all using the same skin track. And I mean, I'm sure you've seen the sticker, like, don't boot peck the skin track. Well, Curtis is just verting his way through Antarctica.
and this is like the top tier, the person that's spending a bunch of money to go to Antarctica to go skin, and I'm just in the middle of the skin track just freaking post-holing my ass off.
I heard you guys also built one hell of a beautiful cheese wedge. While you
Oh my
were there,
God.
Too. Like, I'd love to hear about this
Like-
beautiful gem of a jump.
I've built some shitty jumps in my life, but this one was like, okay, like the hill changes like 3 degrees. So if we put the wedge right there, straight downhill booter in the middle of the field, basically. Like, what are we, 12 years old again? This is insane. But it was crazy because we did actually score really good snow conditions for down there because apparently it's a really dry continent, right?
Totally. I think it's the driest.
They're the driest continent in the world. And we had like 1.5 feet of POW.
Yeah, I think that morning we woke up and there was like 60 centimeters of snow on the boat.
Yeah.
So kind of a freak thing for sure. Which in reality then, like the verts actually worked out okay, but
It was fantastic.
yeah, it could have been shitty.
But yeah, we're building this jump and like everything's pretty remote. So like there's just such the safety thing so high with the guides for sure that like it's I don't want to say overprotective because if something does happen, you're probably 3 days from I don't know how you get somebody out of there without driving the boat back or getting to some sort of base that they can fly you back over to Argentina. But we're like had to be on rope the entire time. So like we're building this the worst cheese wedge in the world basically. And Austin and I are building it and Jake's there too and his job was to run safety, but Austin forgot his snowboard back at shore, so he sent Pashley and the guide to go get his board while we build this tombstone of whatever. And so Austin and I are building this wedge, which there's no help, We got to do like a freaking 8-block wedge in the middle of this field to get like 8 feet in the air, basically. And Jake's just like, I can't help, I'm running safety. So he's like 20 feet away, and we're like moving snow, and I'm just like kind of like catching the end of the rope all the time. And Austin finally snaps. He's like, Jake, seriously, like 2 shovel loads? And Jake's like, no, I can't. I'm like, I'm the safety guy, you know?
Which is also rich because imagine for anybody that knows Jake Price, he probably wears like 80 pounds wet wearing rain boots, right?
my
So like if
God.
these two fell into a crevasse, like Jake is just going straight in there too. Like he's not saving anybody.
Whack, 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 whack.
Oh, that's good stuff. And I heard the purpose of this jump was to be the first ever to do a 900 in Antarctica, right?
Yeah, it was Austin's big goal. And he had some solid attempts.
Quest for the 9.
And actually, I just watched all the video, the 16, and Jake, he's doing it all by hand. He's cutting it all up, projecting it. And there's one that looks like a make. I mean, it might have been a make. Luckily, the video will come out before this podcast. It was not a make.
Oh, nice. Yes, true.
Do you go front 9?
Dude, he...
Cap 9.
So our wedge was super shitty, and he was like, I got 4 shots. I'm going to try and go every which way. I don't think he went switchback 9. But I'm Pashley shooting photos. I'm like, I'm going to do a front 3. It's like glacier in the background, bay, boat. And then on front 7, didn't land. Austin did back 7, landed. And then he went on his 900 quest. And it was just 800, just schwack, schwack. And Pashley was even like, I think you should stop. It was like the snow, it was kind of hot pow at that point, and there was just craters everywhere. But he got pretty close. He did some cool stuff on it too.
Made it work.
Yeah.
All right, I think we just jump right into Run Through a Wall trivia.
Welcome to Run Through a Wall Trivia.
You're fired.
So this is the concept of Run Through a Wall trivia is basically we ask you a question. If you get it wrong, you got to do a salt. They're rapid fire. Pashley, you count them down from 5. He's got 5 seconds to answer everyone.
How many questions are there?
I think there's like 10 or 12 or something.
Shit.
I actually think you're going to get most of them.
Some meatballs for you.
So, okay, we'll start off. So basically, I'll ask the question, and then Pash, you just go 5, 4,
On it.
3, 2, and then I got the buzzer for when he gets it wrong.
I don't do well in these situations. You know that, Pash.
And then
I can count down. Don't worry.
So just so you know, as soon as you get the question wrong, I'm going right into the next one.
So wait, do I have to crack it only if I get it wrong?
If you only get it wrong.
So then I get on this bad trend. Do you start with a really hard one? Then I'm just like, schwack, schwack,
Yeah, that's
schwack.
the idea. That's
Yes.
the idea. We'll see how
Okay,
you do.
okay.
But I
Best
think you'll
case
get
scenario.
a bunch
Yeah.
of them. I think
Okay.
you're going to do okay. Okay, first question. What year did Ski-Doo introduce the 850?
5,
2017.
4, 3.
That's correct. You got to be quicker on
yeah,
the countdown.
I fucked that one up.
Okay.
I'm working into it.
What kind of hair is used on high-end skins for splitboard skis?
0
5,
chance.
4, 3.
Answer is mohair. So, all right. What real estate / investment mogul / pro snowboarder has had the most knee surgeries?
Austin
5,
Smith.
4. Shit.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. What has 8 legs and lives in the sea?
5,
Octopus.
4.
That's fucked.
What year did Ski-Doo introduce the Rev chassis?
04.
5, 4.
03.
Fuck. Oh, I got to crack a new one. Oh my god.
I think you actually might be right, though. That might be wrong.
I think it is 04.
I think it is 04, so but we have to double check that.
Nah.
They might have 03'd it to the trail sled and then brought it into the
I think
mountain
that's
sleds
yeah,
in 04.
yeah,
oh
because
my
the 03
god.
was a boat. Okay,
Yeah,
next
but when
question.
did they actually
I'm
run?
dying over here.
Yeah, I think actually you're right about that. So, what pro snowboarder loves Panda Express?
5,
Mikey Rentz.
4.
That's correct.
And myself.
Yeah, and myself as well. In sailing, when you're steering the boat, you are at the blank.
Helm.
5,
That's
4.
correct.
Damn it.
What bar has had the most snowmobiles pulled out of the truck bed in Bend, Oregon?
5, 4.
That would have to be the
3,
Wall Street.
2.
But it's no longer there anymore.
Really? I thought it was Cascade West.
No, no.
Wall Street? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll hit one for that then.
All right.
That's my bad.
Cascade West is the new one.
Okay.
Oh, well, not the new one. But we used to go to the Wall Street forever, and now we've ruined Cascade West.
Okay, next question. The Deschutes River in Central Oregon is a major tributary for what river?
Columbia.
5.
That's correct. What species is least likely to take a dry fly? There's 4 answers.
Okay.
A steelhead, a silver salmon, an Atlantic salmon, or a pink salmon?
5, 4, 3, 2,
I'm going
1.
to guess steal it.
Pink salmon.
Pink salmon? Yeah, I don't have pink salmon in my area. Damn it.
Oh, there's pink fish up there.
Okay. The side of the boat that is furthest from the wind is what?
5.
Leeward?
4.
That's correct.
Fuck.
Okay, this is a hard-hitting question. What Grom snowboarder was run over by a naked boogie boarder in Hawaii?
Oh, that was me. Fuck. Wait, I don't have to take one for that. Who fact-checked that one? Oh, that was Billy for sure.
Billy teed that one up.
Thanks, Billy Anderson. You dick.
Maybe I should hit one of these just to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do have to say,
Wow. Do 3 of them in a row.
I got a cold going, and these are good for the sinuses.
God.
Same. I'm like cracked out on Sudafed right now, but this thing's.
Dude, I've seen this show so many times, and I always think you guys are a bunch of pussies, but wow, that is fucked up.
Oh, that's good stuff. All right, now let's get back to this. So again, the question was, what Grom snowboarder was run over by a naked boogie boarder in Hawaii?
I'm glad we're bringing that back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me once again.
Yeah, so I need a little bit of context of how you were actually run over by a naked boogie boarder.
Okay, we can go to this. We used to go to Maui. We went to Maui once for like a family vacation, and there's this beach called McKenna Beach, and then there's a nude beach right next to it, right? But there's like McKenna Beach is like a good like skimboard beach, like the waves like are super hollow and they crash right on the sand, like you can't really do anything. But on the nude beach side, there's like a good left, like right off these rocks. So we'd like go over there, you know, you're like, that's a dick, that's a dick, that's a dick. Like a lot of old naked dudes, and then
Bit of paradise, so to speak. No?
yeah. So whatever, I'm out boogie boarding, and I'm like fucking 12 years old or something, you know, I'm paddling out and this guy's just coming right at me. I'm like, no.
Yeah, yes.
No. Dick dragger, just like straight over the back of my legs. I didn't feel it, I don't think. Anything. I don't know if there was like true contact, but it's possible.
Dude, speaking of that,
thanks for that, Bill.
You should bring up, maybe give a little insight on about the hammer that was on the boat.
Oh my gosh. I never actually saw this thing, but there's this older gentleman on the boat that Austin kept saunaing with, and they do like this Arctic polar plunge thing where you like anchor up and jump in. I'm like, Pashley, Austin, and I did it, and Jake didn't do it, but he like was watching from the deck, and like we got up, and he's like, dude, and the guy had a pirate patch over his eye because he had like some weird thing, but he's like, it's the biggest dick I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, after he got out of like the ocean in Antarctica, and he's like, it's incredible. and then we like, Austin runs into him in the sauna, and I guess he's wearing white basketball shorts or something. And Austin's like, also just took an edible. He's high out of his mind. And he's like, dude, I just started staring at it, and I couldn't stop. It was like, this is the hammer of hammers. Just
Thor's hammer.
We're going to have to edit so much of this.
Yeah. Well, this is a good segue to talk about webbed feet.
Okay. Do you want me to pull it out?
Oh, I think, the people need to see this.
Is it true that you have webbed feet? Yes or no?
I have 2 web toes.
And did it help your swim career?
It's got to help surfing when you got to get into the wave.
Yeah. Water polo? What are we talking?
Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see this.
Here we go.
Let's see.
It's not bad. It's like the first knuckle.
I can't see from over here.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
You know how weird it is to pull this out?
Yeah.
I mean,
they are slightly webbed.
I
will say
better,
that.
if you make money off of my feet, I better get some of that.
Only
I don't think you're gonna.
Today's episode is brought to you by feetfinder.com. Use promo code BOMBHOLE for 10% off. No, so you do have, so the rumors are true. You have 2 web toes.
I have 2 web toes, yeah.
Only
okay.
2? What's
Only
that?
2.
What about the other foot?
Other foot's normal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bit of an alien.
I have full on.
Does it help you get into the waves?
Oh, fuck, I don't know.
A couple
Maybe?
extra kicks?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably not. Maybe.
All I can think about is Total Recall. Like I don't know. No?
Fucked up.
All right, so we got the hard-hitting stuff out of the way. Run over by naked boogie boarder, check. Webbed feet,
Fucking
check.
Billy.
Respect to the boogie boarder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let it be known.
Yeah.
All right, I
Like,
think...
that's like got to be what, like 30 years, not 30 years later, 20-something years later? You know, it's like a people don't forget scenario for sure.
No.
How do you draw that one up?
All right, we got some exciting news coming at you from the bomb hole. On January 20th is the LAAX Open. And we are partnering with Red Bull TV to do a live stream on Red Bull TV for the LAAX Open. We're excited. We're honored to be on Red Bull TV. It's going to be a good time. Now, if you guys remember last year's event, it was electric. There was the monumental Frontside air from Gusalini, followed up by Kaishu blasting that method at the pipe final. Zoe dominated slopestyle. Cleveland put down a monumental run in slopestyle. And of course, Dusty killed it as well, Dusty Hendrickson. So the best of the best come out to the LAAX Open every year. It's a premier event. So be sure to mark your calendars for January 20th at 5 a.m. We're going to be doing a broadcast for slopestyle finals. That's 5 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And then at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on January 20th, we're going to be doing half pipe finals. Just a good times broadcast covering the event. We're not the official live stream where we're calling the tricks per se. It's more of a loose bomb hole live stream. So be sure to check that out. Again, January 20th, Red Bull TV. All right, we're going to take a break and talk about one of my favorite places to snowboard, Mammoth Mountain. Now, they're coming off a record-breaking year last year. They got 715 inches at the base, and they were open until August 6th. They got some upcoming events coming up. They got the Grand Prix, January 31st to February 3rd. You can watch some of the best snowboarders in the world chuck roast. You want to see some 1800s and some impressive slope style and half-pipe riding? Check out the Grand Prix. Always check out mammothmountain.com for updates on the mountains and deals and all things Mammoth. And let's talk about the mountain itself. They got everything you need. You want to ride big mountain terrain. You want to ride some chutes, some cornices. You want to get rowdy and pretend you're Big Mountain Jeremy Jones. Well, you can do it there. They also have incredible snowboard parks. The Unbound Terrain Park crew is the best. They got 10 parks, 100+ rails, 40+ jumps at any time, a mini pipe, a mega pipe, countless transition features. It's a good place to go if you want to get really good at snowboarding. And if you get really good, you can ride Main Park. That's where the big dogs go to eat. And the jumps are just built so well. If you ride bad jumps, you feel bad at snowboarding. When you ride good jumps, you feel like a golden god out there. They also got South Park, which is pretty big, a little bit more on the intermediate side. Really fun park laps if you want to go there. Or one of my favorite warm-up laps, the old Forest Trail. You know, you got a nice pack of jumps, good for some 540s. So they got parks for all ability levels, all across the board, whether you're Dusty Hendrickson or you're just trying to learn your first 180. Check out Mammoth Mountain. They are a supporter of the show, and we always have a blast when we go there. All right, this is really fascinating. You grew up on a boat. People will say, oh, Kurt grew up on a boat. And you're like, great. But when you actually think about it, you lived on a boat for 4 years with 6 of your siblings and sailed around the world on like a pirate ship.
Yeah. My dad was kind of a nut job. So it's a pretty long story, but I'm just going to start at the beginning. So my dad dropped out of high school when he was 17, and he was actually dodging the Vietnam War draft. Bought a sailboat, and him and 3 of his other friends sailed down to the South Pacific at 17 or 18 at that point. And he circumnavigated the world, and then had my oldest sister in Hawaii. She lived on the boat. Had my middle sister, who's in between me and Lee, who's my oldest. Shelly, she was born in Curacao on the boat. And then they made it back to Washington, where I was actually born in Kingston, Washington, on the Olympic Peninsula. And then had my brother there too. And then it was I think I lived there until I was 4. My dad was a crazy sailor guy. He's like, I got to go back. So he found this boat in France, and it was 120-foot top-sailed schooner. So full pirate ship made out of old German U-boat steel. So it was really beefy, big boat. And he flew over there, looked at it, and he bought it. And then I remember he came back, and my mom was like, what the fuck? She was so pissed. And then we all flew over there, got on the boat. Thing needed a lot of work. And 120-foot boat, you got to have crew, the whole deal. Especially a boat like that where you got to climb up the mast to manage the sails and stuff. So we brought on, I think it was 11 people most of the time. And so we sailed it from France down to Portugal and then across to the Caribbean. And then that's where they fixed it up because it was cheaper.
You brought 11 random people, including your family?
Including my family, 11 crew members. And then we'd go up and do the tall ship parades in the Great Lakes. So we'd go up and do that in the summer, and then we'd spend our winters down in the Caribbean. And while we were doing that, my parents figured out that they could take kids that were fucking up and doing stuff and like Shanghai them at sea and teach them how to sail, straighten them out. And so that was kind of my dad's program to like fund his adventure. And then the tall ship parades would also pay you to show up. And while we were doing that, we had a older couple on the boat, John and Barb, and my parents taught them how to sail. We met them doing the tall ship parades. And then we loaded the boat full of teak wood from Trinidad, and we smuggled it into Canada that they ended up building a boat out of. And they ended up sailing down in the Caribbean, up and down the eastern seaboard. We were going through the Delaware Canal not sure if we were going up to the Great Lakes or coming back out, but we ended up getting in a head-on collision on the fourth year on the boat with a 600-foot oil tanker. And it like smashed, luckily the boat was made out of steel, but it smashed, like there's a big anchor chain room in the front of the boat, and it smashed it all the way to the back to the first bulkhead, snapped both the masts, fully dead in the water. Like, it was floating, we were fine, Coast Guard towed the whole deal. My parents collected the insurance money, and then we moved to Mammoth Lakes, California. But to tie it all into the couple that built the boat, it was probably 8 years ago, they ended up wanting to sell their boat. My parents were living in Bend, and my dad's like, I can't really afford it. And they're like, we'll sell it to you for $1. So my dad flew down to the British Virgin Islands where it was with my mom. They sailed it to Panama. My mom got really sick, and then my dad sailed it by himself from Panama to Hawaii. Like, nut job.
Crazy.
And then my aunt hopped on the boat and my cousin, and then they sailed it to Oregon. And then down the road, I don't know if I want to like go through all this right now, do we? Sure. So down the road, my dad ended up passing away. Actually, I was working with Eric Jackson for his project, Alignment. We were up in Terrace, BC, filming, and it was like surf fish movie. It was a super fun project to be a part of, but my dad had a heart attack working in the engine room on the boat and passed away, and that was, terrible thing to go through, obviously, but 2 years ago, my sister and I, right during 3 years ago now, right during the start of COVID, we grabbed Eric and Connor Winton, filmer, and we took the boat from Astoria, Oregon, all the way to the Alaskan border. But we had grand plans of like, we're going to Bella Coola, we're going to heli for like, I had 10 days booked, and then we're going to go and fish a bunch of remote steelhead rivers, and we're going to surf on the way back down and make a movie about it. And the Canadian border ended up closing like 8 days after we crossed through it because of COVID. And this is like when Seattle was like, for whatever reason, was the hot spot. Mm-hmm. And the way that you go up there, like it's pretty remote, and a lot of it's like First Nation villages and stuff. So like, it's like pilgrims come, oh, here, take the blanket, like we're a U.S. boat flying a U.S. flag going into these remote villages, and like people really did not want us up there because it was like that beginning, like world's ending, no toilet paper. I mean, my lady was at home like, what? I don't know what to do. Like, and I wasn't like living my best life because it was like the most stressful time ever for sure. But it was also like, I don't know, it was Eric, my sister, and I sailing around in the middle of nowhere. And there's also like, normally there's a lot of boats up there, but COVID, everyone was at like locked down. So we're just like by ourselves in the middle of nowhere. But obviously the helicopter operation shut down a day before we got there. We did 1 day of splitboarding, which this is another good story. We like hike up through the.
I was gonna hit on this. Actually.
Oh yeah. So we like hike. This is why I love splitboarding. We like leave the boat, and like the snow line's super high, so we're just like fucking bushwhacking, climbing through the jungle for like, I don't know, at least 2,000 feet, I'd say. And we get all up to the snow line, like, all right, let's transition over to like tour mode. Get up there, like, oh, I forgot my skins on the boat. Fucking sick. So, back to boot packing. Luckily, our filmer Connor, who's epic, he had a K2 board too. So I used his skins. He just shot drone, and Eric and I went way up and snowboarded down. I mean, it wasn't great, but we did snowboard. And it was also like a time when it was like, you don't want to get hurt. You don't want to take up hospital beds. Like, it was like, people are dying. And so we pivoted. The whole plan was to get the boat to Alaska because my dad commercial fished out of there when he was like in between meeting my mom and sailing around the South Pacific and around the world with his buddies. He was a commercial salmon fisherman up in Alaska and had a lot of good buddies up there. So we were going to go up and leave the boat there and then continue on to Haines and then bring it down and be able to cruise around Southeast Alaska a bit. But I called the border and their customs and catch can when we got to the border, and they're like, if you come up here, you're gonna have to tie to the dock for 14 days. Can't get off the boat. And at this point, it's like I've been on the boat with, these guys for 2 months, I think it was. And it's like, the boat's pretty fucking small. It's like this, for most of it. Eric's beard hair is fucking everywhere. I'm talking, no, like I couldn't have asked for a better group to do that with, for sure. But it was just like, ladies freaking out. Everyone's just stressed out. Like, we just got to go home. So, like, I bought, like, 10 or 15 jerry cans, filled it with diesel, and we just went, like, all the way down. And we got all the way from Alaska to Bellingham. I think it was like 4 days or something. Like we were cruising.
Are you sailing or are you just running the motors at this time?
I'd love to say we were sailing a lot of the time, but up there we're motoring most of the time. Because it's like you're on like these inside passages and everything's so narrow, and like there's crazy tidal flushes. So like there's these huge inlets that go way up, and then when the tide comes out, it all drains. And like the boat will do like 6 knots max. And sometimes the water's going 20 knots in your face. So you're just like, I just got to pull in and wait. But it's crazy to think about like how my dad did it back in the day. It was all like, books like tide tables and charts and this and that. Now, like, dude, you got an app on your phone. It's like, oh, the tide's doing this at this day. We got to leave at this time to go to there. And it's all synced up to the chart plotter on the boat and all the shit. It's so much easier. But at the same time, if that shit fails and you don't know the other stuff, you just be like, oh, God, I'm coming in dark, Yeah. But... yeah.
So where's the boat now?
The boat's in Port Angeles right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we still have it. Things freaking mortgage for those things. It's just rotting. Boats are the worst. And I don't know how my parents got into it. They're great if you're using them every day, but if they're just sitting, it's like the worst thing ever. It's just sitting in salt water, just decaying. And we still have that boat sitting in Port Angeles.
One thing I thought was interesting about that too is like you guys are pulling up, and like the native people were like pulling shotguns on you or something.
Yeah, that happened one time. We tried to pull into this spot to get the gun happened once. You didn't actually like pull it on us, but like we came into this spot where it was like a known like stopping place to get gas, and the tide was in our face, and we're just like, okay, let's just pull in here. When we pulled in, the guy walked down with a shotgun on his back, and he was just like, no, don't even think about it. He didn't like point it at us
because
or anything.
of COVID, right?
Because of COVID.
So it's like, don't bring COVID here.
Yeah.
We're chilling.
Yeah, super isolated. And then in another spot, we tied up to get fuel.
Not today, Columbus.
Exactly. Another spot, we tied in, get fuel, and then we went in to get groceries. They were like, no, you can't do that. Cops came to the fuel dock. They're like, what are you doing? We're like, hey, this is our plan. We're going up to Alaska, blah, blah, blah. They're like, okay, that's fine. Like, we crossed the border. Everything we did was legal at that time, I guess. I don't know. It felt super weird. Like, some people you'd see were like, yeah, it's all good, Like, we've been on this boat for a month and a half with 4 of us. Like, we're more quarantined than anybody, probably, But other people were just like, who are you? What are you doing here? We're trying to get diesel. The cops show up, and we had to get groceries at one spot. We couldn't tie up. They'd like put in an order. They brought down half of the stuff we ordered, paid for all of it, and just put it like at the end of the dock, and we couldn't tie up. We just like pulled alongside, threw all the food on the boat, and kept going. So it was kind of like the most rad trip, but it was also like, I don't know, like it's weird when you're in an area, it's like people just don't want you there in a way. Like when we were out and like where there was nobody and like fishing or doing whatever, it was like the coolest thing ever. But anytime we had to go into port and you get into service, it's like, oh, world's ending, people don't want us here. It's just like, fuck, this sucks. Couldn't have been worse timing, really.
What's the beer count? That's what I really need to know.
Beer count was insane. Like high of highs. We'd be like motoring for like 2 days or something, or like let's say we'd anchor up every night.
The pub was flowing, so to speak.
The pub was flowing. We'd like we pulled up all the floorboards in the boat and just stuffed it with Tim Barrel beer before we because we're like maybe go through customs and won't get caught because beer in Canada is crazy expensive, and tobacco products or snus or whatever. But not that I do that stuff, but you go, like, so we stuff it all full of thing, and going into Canada was so easy. It was like, you check in online, and they're just like, yeah, you're good, go. No one came on the boat, nothing. I was like,
crazy.
Could have moved some units into this place, Like, I don't know. I should have brought more beer. But it was like, we'd be doing these long pulls, like, all day, and it'd be like 10 a.m., and so you could hear, like, someone be driving, you just hear a can crack, and you're like, yeah, let's do this. Because you're, like, stressed out, and just, I don't know.
I can see E-Jack being a big help on this boat quest.
He was a big help, but he he gets really seasick, and a lot of time when shit's gonna break, it's when the boat's fucking moving around a lot. So like we had one point we were going around this spot. It's called Cape Caution. It's just on the northern tip of Vancouver Island, and we're going around. It gets pretty violent, and the boat's just like taking on water, and we couldn't figure it out. Like I'm just like, fuck. All the bilge pumps are on. It's keeping up, but it's like, you know, rule number one of boating is keep the water on the outside of the boat. You know, so it's like, so Connor's driving, which sucks because we didn't really get to film this, because Connor's driving, and my sister and I, like, she started at the front of the boat, I started at the back, and we're just ripping fucking boards apart, trying to figure out where the water's coming in. And there was an air conditioning, like, drain hose that my dad, like, ripped the air conditioner out. He's, like, used to waste of diesel or whatever, running the generator. So he, like, pulled it out, but he never, like, plugged the hose. So when, like, the waves get really bad, it like the hole went underwater and it just started siphoning. And the hose is like that big around. So I'm like pulling up the floorboards, and all of a sudden I just pull up this hose and it's just like, like just spraying. And I'm like, oh shit. But then I'm like, okay, is this like cooling for the engine? Like, am I gonna fuck something up if I just plug it? So then we like, my sister's on one side of the wall and I'm like pulling on the hose, she's pulling on it, then I get to the other side of the wall and we're like tracing this thing all the way back to the end of the boat where it went out, and I was like, oh, so we just grabbed a wood cork and slammed it in there and hose clamped it, and it was like, good to go. But it was like, you know, it's those situations.
So was E-Jack a big help in that situation?
Yeah.
No, he was not. He was laying in bed face down, just like, oh. I felt bad for him, though. Being seasick sucks. That trip we just did to Antarctica, the boat was like, we came back, it was like 26-foot seas or something. It was rolling. I usually don't get seasick. I had like patches on. I was taking medicine. Austin got kind of like, no one puked, but it was like, it was a real deal. We were eating dinner and like dishes were flying across the room. It's pretty funny.
Jake's basically a cockroach over there. He's just sucking down cigs, wearing speed shades the entire time.
Dude, Jake is insane. I've got photos on my phone. Like I shared a room with Jake, and I'll be going to bed, and he's got like this weird infrared light that he uses for like his muscle joint shit or something.
The bat cave.
But it's like 11 at night. We're watching like our 10th movie for the day, and he's like got his speed shades on, and it's just like bright red glowing around his head. And I'm looking over like, you good, dude? Like, what's going on over there?
We'd have the side door open, so like we had a full walk through so we could see what was going on, but it would just be like pitch black, and all of a sudden you just see this like glowing red light. We're like, what the fuck is happening over there?
So, Kurt, I heard that you and Jake are working on a movie based on kind of your whole childhood and sailing around the world and all that.
Yeah, so when my dad passed away, he left my siblings and I that boat that I was talking about. And it was like, hey, you know, I'm into like snowboarding thing, obviously, the fishing thing, obviously. And there's really good, it's like some of the best steelhead fishing in the world is up in BC. It's no secret or anything. So my sister, it was my idea, and my sister was like, I need her to come along because she's like co-captain the whole thing. She knows more about boats than I do. And Eric was the perfect person, and Connor was the perfect person to film for it. And it was going to be like a tribute to my dad. Was like, we took his ashes up there. We're going to spread them in one of his favorite places. And we ended up doing all that, but COVID obviously wrecked a lot of it. But the movie's still coming. But then, so we got home, and this is a whole nother dark story. My mom ended up passing away. She'd been battling cancer since I was like 12, I think. And I think the doctor gave her 3 years when I was 13. So it was like, she made it until I was 35. Like we were beyond lucky to have those years with her. But another funny thing, like in her final years, she was like, I just want to travel. And I'm like, you know what? Do you know? She had like terminal bone cancer, but it was like suppressed. But she ended up traveling all around, and then she landed in Turkey somehow, and like talking all the time with her. And she's like, I think I might buy a house over there. And I was like, what if you do? Don't buy a house over there. You know, like don't buy a house in Turkey. Just rent. Rent's fine if you really love it after a year, whatever. 2 weeks later, she's like, so I bought a house. I was like, fuck. 2 weeks after that, she's like, hey, I'm really not feeling well. And I was like gearing up for my Deschutes guide season. And like, I was like, oh, fuck. So I called my brother and I was like, dude, we got to go to Turkey. Him and I bought flights that night, flew out the next day, went and got her. She was really in rough shape. Had to figure out, she like transferred all of her money and stuff into Turkish bank account. Like, it is very confusing over there. Like I've traveled quite a bit. I've been lucky enough to travel quite a bit through snowboarding, and that is just a different animal. So she bought this house. We like got her home, thankfully, and a lot of her finances out of it, but she still has this house, and it's just been like, but she ended up passing away in this summer. And I'm super lucky to have great siblings, Lee, Shelly, Martin, I love you all. we were all by her side until the end. It was rad, but I mean, it was the worst thing ever. But to have like siblings that you can lean on in that situation was huge. And now we're like still feeling with Turkish lawyers and all this shit about this house. So if you want to go to things like Fethiye, Turkey, I got a spot there.
Okay,
if you want to go chill. But with
Nice
the
little
movie,
Airbnb.
sorry, I'm fucking rambling, sidetracking all over the place. With the movie, it just opened up like this was for my dad, but at the same time, my mom raised freaking 4 kids on a boat in the middle of the ocean. Like, if anything, she's more badass than my dad. So now it's like this new chapter of like multiple chapters that we have to add in and do all this stuff. And we were super lucky that my mom shot a bunch of interviews and stuff for the movie for my dad. So I think we just have to relook at it and tweak it. And there's something coming, but it's such a hard deal too. Like, making a snowboarding movie is one thing. It's like front five, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, you're like, good music, edit it. But like making like a story-based movie, like I did a lot of voiceover stuff. It's just like, it's so hard. And to tell the story the right way, I want it to be good. And it was getting pretty good, but it wasn't where it quite needed to be yet. And then that happened. And now we're like, the book just got freaking peeled wide open again.
But also what I think you're leaving out too a bit is I've seen some of the cuts and stuff and of the edits that Jake has done and whatnot. And there's a crazy amount of like old footage.
Oh,
and
there
so
is
that's
for sure.
Yeah, like where and why was that all? Because there's so
yeah.
much of you and the kids and, you know, running around the boat. It's pretty wild.
Well, obviously the boat was huge, and it was just like a lot of it was that John and Barb, who my parents got that boat from. They just like took a bunch of photos and filmed a bunch, and it's like, you know, I'm like 6 years old running around on a pirate ship barefoot, and we got like dogs and cats on the boat and stuff, and like the old family footage is incredible, and it's all ties into like. I don't know. I'm so attached to it and so like in it, like it could totally suck. I don't know, but I think there's definitely something there, and I want to just like make the best thing that we can possibly make. And obviously, with the going through the stuff with my mom, it was just like the family was like in mourning for like, you know, that shit fucks you up. It's freaking. It was the worst thing I've ever been through. Like when my dad died, it was like equally as bad, but he like died. I was away from it, you know. And then like watching someone go through that at the end and being with them, it was just a weird, fucked me up for a while. But it's, in another way, it like I think it's good because it puts a lot of shit in perspective. Like, oh, that doesn't fucking matter. You know, it's like all those other things. It's like that, like this matters, you know, like these people, this doing these things. It's like, it's kind of good in a way. I don't know.
Well, it seems like your parents did a great job raising your family too. You guys are all really close. And one thing, a perspective from somebody else, like an outsider like myself, like haven't spent much time on boats. I can't imagine being on a pirate ship with no fucking land in sight at 3 years old with my family. Like that experience is totally abnormal and incredible. You know?
Straight up.
It was
Ciszek Family Robinson style.
Yeah. I remember like, I mean, I was pretty young, but like, it was like, I don't know, you grew up and you're so close, you're so tight, there's like different views every day. But like, I remember like my favorite thing was like, when we go to port, I get like real milk in my cereal and shit. Like not powdered milk. I was like, this is so much better. This is so good. And then like, I remember like getting a bike for the first time that was on the boat. And then I'd be like, can we go ashore so I can ride my bike? Like shit like that, you know?
What about the bowl cuts? I mean, I've seen some.
I don't know what was up with my mom, but like all of my childhood photos, I'm wearing like a golf shirt, khaki shorts, and I have a mean bowl cut. And my brother has a bowl cut. My sister has a bowl
They're
cut.
so good.
I think she just like, like
They're nice.
Is he fishing? You just throw the bowl on there?
That shit's actually trending here in Salt Lake.
It's coming
I've been
back.
seeing some images
Still,
coming
he's
out.
actually got the bowl in.
Yeah,
He's got
it's
a bowl
under
cut in the
there.
front.
It's all slicked back. You're
It's
not
a-
gonna be able to see it, but it's in there. Go
It's
look
a
at
bowl
another
cut in the
episode.
front, mullet in the
me.
back.
Nice.
It's a little bit of a hybrid.
Kurt, you were ahead of the game. Man.
Yeah, trendsetter. Trendsetter. So let's go. You move back to Mammoth, right?
Yeah.
And that's incredible because that's where you kind of sharpened your teeth as a young snowboarder. You're like a super grom.
Yeah, I kind of was, which is like looking back on it now, I think it's kind of like I wouldn't change anything. I don't think like I was really lucky because my parents took the insurance money from the boat and they bought this really shitty house, but the house was like right next to Canyon Lodge. It was like one house and our house, and then like I get home from school and I just go snowboard. And like it turned into like, you know, Mammoth gets fucking ape shit. Like we've got prime parking it was like pretty soon, like Billy's parking at our house and like Jeff Anderson is parking at our house and they're hanging, like everyone's like riding back to the house for lunch and they're taking me snowboarding. But like getting sponsored at that young of an age, I feel like kind of slowed me down. It didn't like slow me down, but it's like, oh fuck, I got sponsors. I'm pretty good. Like I don't have to like try as hard as like, you know what I mean? And like, and then I started filming in the backcountry when I was like 16, where I wish I would have like kind of got stuck in the park a little bit longer and learned more tricks and like, you know, gone that route. But I wouldn't change it for a thing either, because like I've always, you know, once you like get a taste of the powder thing and get proficient on the snowmobile, and like there's no like for me there's no better thing, you know, like and not everybody has that opportunity. I don't want to like, I was super privileged to have that opportunity to ride soft snow and like be able to go into the mountains, and had the, I don't know, the influences and the guys take me out. You know, like I got pretty hooked up.
Dude,
for sure.
You had Billy Anderson take you around.
Yeah.
And you didn't go like, oh, I'm hanging with my childhood Grom friends and we're like going to the local rail jam.
Yeah,
and like,
yeah.
You're like, yeah, Billy's introducing me to like Jamie Lynn at age like 12.
Totally.
Here's the keys to the castle, Curtis. Come on.
Yeah, like,
Come
didn't you
experience
get
this.
tattooed by Jamie at a young age or something?
Yeah, I was like 18. I have a tattoo in here. It's like old sailboat. It's like the sailboat painting he did.
Did you start skiing at all, or did you go straight to snowboarding?
No, I grew up ski racing. I was in a ski program. My mom
Was that even before the boat stuff? So you were like skiing before then?
Yeah. So I grew up like I first started skiing when I was like 2 at Crystal.
Okay.
My parents were all about it.
Okay.
And my mom worked at Mammoth in the pass office, so we got us all tickets and discounted into like Mighty Mites or something. And my oldest sister was like, she was about to go on the junior Olympic team. Like she was really fast, really good, and she was over it. And then I started skateboarding and snowboarding, and it was like, and then it was over. Yeah. And then I remember I got to tell this one story where Billy would obviously take me out, and we had a trampoline in our backyard, and we'd take the posts up and like set them over in the snow and like set up a rail. And Eric Jackson and I, because Eric and Jackson and I, we've known each other since we were like freaking 9 or something. We used to compete against each other in USASA, and our house was right next to the mountain, so it was like the clubhouse. And my parents were super rogue. They're just like, come over, we'll feed everybody. Well, you know, super welcoming, great people, but also like very loose. Like just fucking don't kill yourself, just do whatever you want, you know. But we like set up this rail, and Eric and I are hitting it. We're trying to learn like board slides or front boards or something. And then like Jeff Anderson just like, I think it's the first time we met Jeff. He like walked out of nowhere with like, I was like, I don't know who else was there, like some Mammoth, Bobby George, or maybe Billy was with him or something. And then pretty soon we're sessioning this rail with Jeff, and I'm just like, I'm like 12 years old, like this is fucking crazy, you know. And then went on to like Billy started dating my oldest sister eventually, and then it was like he was just hanging at the house all the time. And then there's this one story where Jeff was his powder day. Jeff was riding. He like butt checked a rock super hard and thought he broke his tailbone. And instead of like going home, he just rode straight to our house and like lived on our couch for like 5 days. Like my mom's like feeding him, and we're just playing fucking Mario Kart like all hours of the day. It was the sickest thing ever. But like being that age and having that was like, I mean, so fortunate for sure.
Dude, I have this vivid memory of last call, because we're the same age pretty much.
Yeah.
I remember I was at last call, and you and I think Sammy Lubke or something.
Probably Sammy.
We're on the East Coast, and I'm like, oh, these are the like California pros are here at last call. Holy shit, there's Curtis. Like,
And probably you and Magoon are just fucking us up.
but it was cool to see you like cruising around, because you were big time like Grom in the magazines and all that shit.
Yeah. I mean, I had like a checkout of like you have the photo. It's coming up at some point.
Yeah,
Super
so
embarrassing.
I actually want to say you've had a lot of prolific photos. You got the cover of Trans World. You've had a great career,
Yeah.
many covers. But I think
The one you're bringing up is for sure the best.
photo of your entire career is your like what the pros are rocking or checkout or whatever it is.
what the kids are rocking.
What the Groms are rocking or something. Yeah.
Puffy everything.
So Gus,
I have it right here. Do you want to see it?
Oh, you got the
Pash?
puffy?
Yeah, I'll show you real
straight up
quick.
puffy coats, puffy pants.
fucked up.
Yeah, this is look at this kid. Just,
Puffy coat, puffy
Yeah.
pant, puffy cheeks.
yeah.
I still have the cheeks. The cheeks haven't changed. Thanks. I remember well, I don't know if we want to parlay into this or that, but we were working at High Cascade, like Sally Butler, who owned Volcano Cones. She found that photo and made me sign it, and it was like right behind the ice cream thing, and I was just like, you bitch. You bitch.
This kid frequents here. Yeah. You should too.
Look at his cheeks. He loves ice cream.
Rocky Road.
But even being a kid too, like Billy and Mariner, didn't they take you to Mexico when you're like 14 or
Oh
something?
shit! Yeah, I forgot about that story.
Yeah,
too.
Mariner
That-
wanted me to bring this up. You going to Mexico when you're 14.
So it was actually funny. You got that photo of Troy surfing that wave in your office.
Yeah.
So we went down there and we surfed there. We stayed at Gaviotis, and I think I was 15. I had like a permit as my ID, no passport, no nothing, like driver's license permit style. And Billy and Mariner and they all took me down there, and they're like trying to go to the bar, and the bouncer's like, zero fucking chance, fat cheek kid. Like, no, like whatever. And they're like, all right, let's bail. And I was like, what if I just got in a cab? It's like 20 minutes down the road. Like,
I mean, Goonies just came out. They know who the Truffle Shuffle is. Yeah, we get it.
Fuck you. So long story short, I'm like, I'll just get in a cab and I'll just go back to Gaviotis. It's like a 30-minute drive, but
By
it's
yourself?
by myself. This is my first time in Mexico, so I don't really know. And I'm like, Rosarito to Gaviotis by myself with the cab driver. They go to the bar, and I'm just like, I mean, it was fine. It ended up being fine, but we're like, there's like the army checkpoints and stuff, and I'm just like, what the fuck? With like some dude that's just smoking Marlboros that doesn't speak English.
Me llamo Curtis.
Hola, amigo.
Well, we've been having a lot of talk about Billy Anderson here, so we actually have a guest question from none other than Billy Anderson. Here
I
we
know
go.
where this is going.
Hello, Bombhole. Long-time listener, second-time caller. Got a question for Curtis. Curtis, I understand that you've been to Baldface
Yep.
many, many times.
Here it comes.
What would you recommend for lunch? I heard they have a really good steak wrap.
Yeah. Do we really want to do this one? I mean, I'm
do.
gonna tell the story.
The people need this, Kurt.
We got the photo to back it up too.
Oh, there's
I got the photo. Yeah, I got the photo from Jake.
All right. So we're at Baldface. I have been very fortunate. I rode for Volcom for I got on Volcom when I was like 14 or 15. Like they started giving me shit, and then like really like got my first contract after I started filming. I think I got like travel budget. I filmed a little bit for Scramble with Jana, but whatever. They sponsor Volcom or sponsor Baldface, so they do a lot of team trips up there and company trips, and I've been invited, or I was invited on a lot of them, and got to know the staff pretty well. And it gets you have a couple when you up there from time to time, And there was one night where we went a little too far for sure. Like that does happen.
Demolishing ice cold beers is what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I woke up late. To like just enough time, like miss breakfast, miss packing a lunch, put the boots on, get in the cat, just like, oh my God, fuck my life. Why do I do this? Which is the worst thing you can possibly do when you go to those places. It's like you're out on an epic powder snowboarding trip and you just wake up like, fuck me. Like
Just a shell of a human.
And then the worst possible thing you can do for a hangover is get in the back of a cat. It is just a hot, steamy box that's just rattling around, whatever. So we're at like
smells
half
like a
the day.
bar, yeah.
I'm holding on, by a thread. Probably threw up a couple times, whatever. And I'm like, I didn't bring any lunch. Fuck, whatever. And then the cat driver's like, oh, I have a wrap for you. And I was like, oh, that'd be fucking huge. Throws it to me, whatever. Blah blah blah. I'm in the back of the cat. There's 12 people in these things, right? You got 6 across the front, 6 across the back, and I'm sitting right in the middle. And I just grab this wrap, peel it open, and I just bite into this bad boy. And there happened to be a blue dildo in the middle of it. So I'm sitting there, but the story gets better, and it's all coming back to me. I'm like, the night before, I'm like, we're all fucked up. Homie Jay, great guy up there. He does all the maintenance and stuff. He's like, I'm going to make a burrito with a dildo for Cordell. And I was like, yes, let's do this. So I'm back there in the kitchen with him. We're like putting salsa on this thing. I'm helping him wrap it, the whole deal. And as soon as my teeth sunk into that rubber object, I was like, it's all flashing back. And I was like, no.
Kind of a more than a mouthful scenario.
No, there's like full teeth marks in it, and no one knows yet, but I know the cat driver knows. So I'm like weighing my options. It's still sitting in my hands. I'm looking at it, and I'm just like, there's nothing I can do. There's like, what do you throw out the fucking window? He's like, say you didn't take a bite of it? Like, try and flip it upside down, you're shoulder to shoulder back there. I'm just like, all right, fuck it. Just pull it out. I'm like, good one, homie Jay, blah, blah, blah. It's like, Cannon Cummins asked me about it this year at the
High maintenance?
at the high maintenance.
Oh, no. High maintenance is what we were.
Low maintenance, yeah. We were high maintenance.
Kind of comes full circle there, actually.
Oh my God.
It's low
I was like,
maintenance.
yes, I got. I got. And I did it to myself. full teeth
Legendary.
marks. Yeah, it's
So good. Actually, up there's always like the crazy fireworks shenanigans and stuff like that. And I noticed this year, you and I were up there, and you seem to be like running away from me at a rapid pace because of like, the Roman candles
I've got
maybe being shot at you. And yeah, I wonder if you
trauma
want
with that.
Yeah, if you want to touch base on a little of the Roman candle trauma.
Jana Mayan, bless her heart, one of the best of all time. And she actually did, like, there's people like Billy and Jana's up there with him for like giving me opportunities and helping me. Like, she co-signed for me, I think, on my second snowmobile for my loan. Like, rad, and took me around that scramble year with Trent Ludwig. But 4th of July at her house, Roman candle war. It's like the last fucking... Billy was actually there for this. Last Roman candle, like, in the thing. We're having wars, blah, blah, blah. I'm wearing goggles the whole night, take them off, and she just fucking pegs me from like 50 yards, and it goes into my eye, under my eyelid, and is like... Speaking of pirates, actually, but my, like, emergency room, face is in a vice for 3 hours at 2 a.m. Dude's like fucking picking shit out of my eye. Then I'm working at camp, digging. I have to go back up there, full eye patch. I'm just like 15 years old. It's all just gooey. I take the eye. It sucks so bad. But luckily I didn't lose any vision. The guy was like, I got super lucky. So yeah. Then we were having Roman, like, Pash gets Roman candles at Baldface, and he's chasing me around. I was like, and I'm like, oh, no, not again. Like,
Pash, not cool.
Not cool.
Not cool, man.
No. Get Austin.
Well, I think this is a good segue for a guest question from Ika Backstrom. Here we go.
Hey, Kurt. It's your friend, I-Man.
You're not my friend.
Please tell everyone about your
Love
gear
him.
drying technique after snowboarding.
Ah, yes.
How's the new garage looking? Love you, bye.
I love him. He's the best. One of my favorite people in the world. I have unorthodox gear drying techniques sometimes. Depends on the day. I'm a big fan of, if it's in the truck, you can't forget it.
Yeah, I like that.
So, you just heat on high on the way up, goggles on the dashboard, heat on high on the way down. Yeah, but I did, like, we have a new garage, and I just, like, built this, like, closet with a heater, and I'm really hoping that I can grow out of this habit, but I probably won't. I mean,
basically been told that you disregard your gear after riding, beeline it to the couch, do not think about the gear till...
7
the
a.m. the next day.
Yes.
Yeah, 1,000%. The goggles, like they get the moisture in between the lenses.
Have you guys ever heard of après ski by chance? No, I'm just...
They're just lodged in his backpack, like never coming out. You're like, those are going to be nice tomorrow.
It's so good when you're like battling something. You're like, oh, I got more goggles in here. Like you're battling a trick or something. You put your goggles on, and you're just like, fuck me.
Pash, you got any extra goggles? Classic
Classic
line.
And Austin's equally as bad as I am. I feel like when we were filming together, it was just like, I don't like, she's like 2 different gloves, like shit like that all the time.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good segue into maybe talking snowmobiles.
Oh, God.
Fuck Polaris.
Yeah, this feels like it's going to be more of a roast of me.
I don't think it will.
Oh, no.
Well, first question would be do or poo.
I mean, I ride Ski-Doo. I've always ridden Ski-Doo, but there's a reason behind that.
Always? Maybe that's a good segue.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, yeah. Not always. There was a very dark time in the middle there. It was the worst decision ever. It was actually hilarious. But we started on Ski-Doo because we ended up filming a lot in Canada because Canada's got rad shit and super easy. Like, if you're trying to film a backcountry video part, there's no better place than around Whistler, Rebels. It's like all the greats, Devin, like, Lucas, whatever. They all come out of there, or most of them, and it's just very easy. I wouldn't say it's easy, but the terrain there is incredible. And Polaris didn't really have a foot mark there, right? Like, if your sled broke down, you had a Polaris, you had to drive it back to the States to get it fixed. It's all Ski-Doo. So we all ran Ski-Doos from the beginning, and once you go do, you just never go back, It's just like, but I'm so glad that Polaris is in the industry, because if they weren't, like, Arctic and Yamaha are fucking done, basically. It's like Ski-Doo and Polaris are just pushing each other and making better and better stuff.
Yeah, the Alpha is pretty nice. The Alpha.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong.
The Danger Kitty?
If I got one for free, I'd ride the shit out of it.
1,000%. I would bleed green.
Arctic Cat? You guys ride an Arctic Cat?
That thing comes for free?
That thing comes for free? Meow, meow.
Meow, meow, my good man. Meow, meow.
But I do feel like Ski-Doo's on top right now with the Gen 5 Turbo.
Absolutely.
I mean, that thing is coming apart at all times. I mean, the amount of time that I've seen those things like in pieces and just in parts and all over the place, which actually maybe leads into a nice little gift that I drove down this morning from Idaho to meet up with you guys. And so I was able to pack this with me, but I brought a gift, Chris, in the bomb hole for you, kind of on behalf of Curtis.
Okay. Yeah, this is exciting.
Yeah, let me...
So for the listeners that can't see, I'll provide some context for people that are listening.
Okay, I'm going to step away for a second and I'll deliver this.
He has on the floor here a giant box, maybe 6 feet long-ish, about a foot wide. It could be a
wrapped
snowboard
like
box.
a Christmas present.
It's wrapped like a Christmas present. Now he's going to put it on the table here. Try to not knock over the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what do we got here? Looks like it came in a Dyson box underneath. I see this he's obviously doing well financially if he has a Dyson. The new job at North Face is paying well if he's buying a Dyson. It's basically a new snowmobile.
Yeah, you're welcome, Aaron.
Aaron's going to love this. Here, honey, I brought you a new vacuum.
Look what I got you. You're welcome.
All right, rip this thing open, Kurt. What do we got?
You can. I made it pretty easy, Kurt, so we can actually help. I'll help you with it on this side.
Oh, it's an unveiling.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right, what do we got here?
Well, I kind of, yeah.
Is it a Dyson?
It's a multi-gift gift. First, we have Colorado Smart Wool sock. These are my favorite ones, the thin ones.
Yeah, you sent those to me before as well.
The crazy thing is that these socks are actually the nicest ones they make, but it is a crazy logo.
The Colorado flag?
Yeah, but I figured these are good for the bomb hole here for you guys.
Yeah, we love Rado at the
Okay, so now we have the skid off of my sled.
Yeah, okay, beautiful. Nice yellow skid.
You can't tell it's not that bent, but it's pretty bent. So I bent this. Obviously, when you're filming snowboarding, you're doubling, sometimes tripling a lot, and a lot of weight on the back end of the sled. And that Ski-Doo Turbo just has so much fucking power that it, with 3 people on it, bent them, and it was still rideable. I just kept changing the high axes over and over again. But eventually, I found some rails on Facebook Marketplace for like $300, and then we switched them in Pashley's garage last winter.
Last winter, yeah.
And then I just accidentally left them there.
Yeah, accidentally. We get to like the summer, my wife's like, Pash, what is this? And I was like, yeah, what is this? Like, fucking Curtis left all this shit here. So now it's kind of like, but it is like one of those best friend necklaces. So for me to the bomb hole, so I have one of the skids and now you have the other rail.
Well, mind you, he was tripling too.
I was.
It's more about
tripling.
the weight of his passengers than it is about the machine itself.
Big Air Jer, not huge, dude. His shoulders, he's a beefcake.
I think he's taking HGH.
Yeah, he's
gotta be.
He's
Wide
getting
load.
huge. I would blame that on, that has nothing to do with the machine. That's Big Air Jer on HGH. That's your issue right there. It's not a Skidoo.
We did like a road trip back from low maintenance from Baldface in Austin's like 94 Volkswagen with Benford, Jer, Jake, and I in Austin in this thing. We're like, any pothole we hit, the thing's just bottoming out and scraping the ground. But Jer's sitting in the middle, and I'm literally like face up against the window. Like his shoulders are so wide.
Yeah, he's just brick shit.
How was that border crossing? Was that that might be a nice little tidbit for everyone to hear about?
Oh, the way down.
Yeah, I mean your border crossings in general.
Okay, I've had a rough go at the border, which is crazy because I keep it pretty tight around that thing. And the way that, I mean, okay, I'm on a Volcom trip going to Baldface. Very lucky. And Terrier's in the car, Vernon Deck's in the car, and Seth Hewitt's driving, who was the team manager at the time. And for whatever reason, Vernon, the border agent, asked us all what we did for a living. And Vernon said he was a snowboarder for some reason. Don't know why. And then they, went in, did what they did. And they're like, he lied to us. Therefore, you all lied to us. You guys can't come into Canada tonight. Made us sign some, declaration that we were withdrawing our entry. And now, up until this last winter, I had a red flag on my passport every time. And it was just I go to Canada probably 10 times a winter. So it's okay, I got to picture in another set another hour at the border just in case it because for a while it was straight inside, trucks getting pulled apart, blah, blah, blah. Because it said I was untruthful to a border agent on the thing, I'm a liar. And I was just I was fucking 22 years old sitting in the car. And I'm just hosed. But last year we were going up for low maintenance and the guy, I was dude, I ask him every time I go in, this is what happened. What can I do? He's like, you can't do anything. You lied to a border agent. And he's like, you know what? Since it's Christmas, I'm going to take this off for you. And now I'm just like, it used to be like so stressful. It's like you're in trouble every time you go across a border and they're just like all and going through my phone and shit, looking at my text messages.
That's amazing. Well, I think we should go back to snowmobiles because you talked. Sorry. There was a brief moment in time where you switched brands.
Yeah. So Austin, been like one of my best, probably my best friend forever, besides my brother, of course. But like, you know, we've travel all over the place, done a lot of fun stuff together. And he's like, hey, there's like these Yamaha Nitros. And actually, Jake Price kind of started this. He had one, but it was just way underpowered and heavy. And Austin's like, well, what if we get it with like a turbo on it? I was like, it's pretty sick. You know, for like use 2-stroke oil, like we're saving money at that point. So he gets a turbo, and I get a supercharged Yamaha Nitro. And his blows up fucking day one, 5 miles from the truck. His is out immediately. And mine was a runner. I got mine used from this full neck that like probably sunk like 40 grand into this piece of shit. It was the worst snowmobile ever. But it also required me to run half avgas, half premium. Mm-hmm. So it was like everywhere we went, it's like, yo, can we hit the airport? I got like 10 jerry cans I got to fill up to mix every day. I'm like really saving on the fucking oil at this point. And the thing is like, I don't know, it's like having a fucking ton in front of you, and it like any tree wheel it just wants to go in unless they're on the throttle. But you grab the throttle with the supercharger at 270 horse, like at your thumb, and it's throwing snow like a quarter mile through the trees. We'd call it Shamu because it would just like dive into the tree wheels and just be like, whoa, whoa. It's like whoosh, and then like sometimes there'd be people behind me, and they're just like fucking visors are getting blown off their helmet. And also, like, the shittiest thing of it's, like, you get to the point where it's, like, breaking trail through the trees, fun, whatever. Everyone's having a good time. And then it's, like, the one, like, gnarly hill punch that's, like, probably going to avalanche. Everyone's just, like, let's see it. You know? And you're just like, fuck. Oh. Yeah, then quickly sold that thing and got
How was it when that thing gets stuck? Because the 4-stroke, those things weigh fucking 1,000 pounds.
Dude, it was like
the 1 ton.
Not even fucking try by yourself. Like, team, we got an issue, and I'm about 200 yards higher up the hill than any of you can make it. So like, yeah, get on foot.
There was a period there where there were like a ton of people with Yamahas. I mean, I was working at Solomon at that time, and they were like...
It was like Benedict, Jake,
yeah, we had 2
Bassage.
of them. The RX, it was the RX-1, because I think it was like I'm not a big street racer, street bike guy, but I think it was like an R1 motor.
It was.
Bike motor?
Yeah, and so it was like fast as fuck, but...
So heavy.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we called the RX 1 ton. Like, it was just like, you got that thing stuck. It was like, fucking leave it till spring.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, that was a fun
bunch
point.
of Yamahas going. And DC, I remember DC.
Yeah,
they were all...
Bjorn I remember seeing Bjorn out in Logan on one of those absolute boats, just fucking.
Which is crazy because remember, like, I don't know if you guys remember the Mountain Maxes? They were triples.
Yeah.
Those were actually pretty good way back. Like, those were runners.
The OG chassis that was fucking low handlebars.
That's the other craziest thing. Like what snowmobiles were and now what they are. It's like. You get on like an 03 RMK, which was like the dream machine. You're just like, this is crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, how did people get anywhere on these things?
I just saw, who was just selling an Arctic, like an old one? G-Don.
Oh, yeah. 600, Max Wormington was selling
Max was
$600 on the trailer. I was like, dude, I kind of want to buy this thing. Because like for Round Bachelor, like, or where we snowmobile in Oregon, it's like all the good stuff's in the wilderness. Mm-hmm. So like most people just use them just to get out to like the boundary, and then they split board off, and it's like groom trail to there. I was like, this is perfect for here. And $600 for a snowmobile on a trailer, like, that's incredible.
Oh, those things are screamers on the trail too.
So
you want to go
loud.
dead straight across a lake?
It's just full mountain couch.
Mountain couch.
Now, I noticed you're a Polaris guy, Pash.
Oh my God, here we go.
I'll tell you what, Jay Stone has one of your old sleds. And he went out earlier this winter. He's just learning, and he was getting it buried everywhere you could look. And I had to ride that thing out of some tree wells and holes, and I was like basically his lifeline. And I have to say, that is one of the biggest pile of shit snowmobiles I've ever driven in my life.
Let it be known that I sold that to Sean and Asher prior to the J Stone being
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, I have been on the Polaris tip for a hot minute. But this is more about Kurt. Come on now. But I'm just deflecting now as much as I can. But it was really like the only reason I was always on Ski-Doo too. And the only reason I went is because I got the dealership that was in Steamboat at the time they sold both. And the guys were like, oh, dude, we got this great deal on this Polaris. You want interested in this? And I was like, I'll give it a whirl. And then it just became, and then I moved up to Idaho, Wyoming area, and a bunch of guys up there are on the Polaris. And so it just became easier to stay with that. But then it also, and then similar with like me being from Colorado and whatnot, it just kind of became more of like a good shit talking piece. Like,
it's the highlight.
2 strikes.
Yeah,
It's Colorado and Polaris.
It's the highlight of our day. Well, it's fun when like I go to Idaho, Jackson area with those guys because Gooch and Carter, and they're the best. They're always like, yeah, let's go. Like they're always super welcoming and take us around everywhere. But then it turns into just straight brand bashing nonstop. It's like, oh, the fucking Polaris is stuck again. You don't say. Oh, weird. You fouled the plug. And then like something will happen to a Ski-Doo. We got to tow it out or something. And then you never hear the end of it.
Well, it's the classic scenario of like someone gets stuck. And I feel like, in other circumstances, someone would get in some tricky position and everyone would come and be like, oh, let's help you out. But in this sort of circumstance nowadays, it's like someone gets stuck. It's like, yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
They instantly pulls out the phone. Like,
surrounded phone.
Let you suffer a little bit and come help.
So true.
All right, let's talk Oakley. Now, they just dropped their new team collection outerwear. You can see Sage Kotzeberg's signature kit. He's got the goggles that match the outerwear. Really nice yellow and kind of olive green color scheme. And then, of course, Stale Sandbox got a bit more of an earth tone collection, really clean. So if you're looking for some outerwear and a fresh kit, check out the team collection outerwear. They also have their new helmets, the Mod 3. It has the Twice Me technology that is designed to store and share personal information in case of emergency. I'm a big fan of the Oakley Line Miner goggle with the Mod 1 Pro helmet. Great setup. If you're interested in getting some new outerwear, goggles, or helmet, be sure to check out Oakley.
I noticed you're having a hard time selling that turbo, Kurt. Do you want to talk about that?
Melissa's sled. Melissa's.
I have my wife's backup sled. She's ridden it like twice. It's got 2,200 miles on it. I don't know how it's no. I got the first year the turbo came out, and it's been freaking great. It's hard because like I do want to get a new one. I do want the G5 or the Gen 5, and the just like it's nice just having the peace of mind with the low mile machinery when you're like out in Whistler. Somewhere way the fuck out in the middle of nowhere. Nothing's gonna happen. You're gonna have to hell it out. But in its defense, I got 2,200 miles on a factory turbo, and it just will not stop running. I let my sister borrow it last year. Left the e-brake on. This is not a good selling story. Caught it on fire, and then they put it out. I'm like, why the fuck did you put it out? It's fully insured. That would have solved all of my problems.
Save it.
They're like thinking it's good news. They're telling you this.
Hey, we saved.
So it caught on fire a little bit, but
I'm like, yeah. No.
There's a little bit of singeing. What?
I forget. I was up in Alaska or something, then came back and I like got the sled. I'm like, caught on fire. I'm looking at it. I'm like, what? Looks fine. Took it to Idaho. Rode it for like a week and a half. I'm like, running better than ever, you know?
You know what's wild though with snowmobiles is like I was thinking about my first new sled I bought. I think it was $8,000 or something like that.
Oh God, yeah. Those were the days.
Crazy.
Now it's like $24,000 for a new Turby or 23 or something.
Easily.
It's so funny too with like the way, I mean, the way that like when I like first started filming or like got my big opportunity to film with people or something and like filmed a part and then like started making money and it was like I was like the pay was better and the cost was way cheaper. And now it's like, I mean, that might just be me or be what, but like a new snowmobile is $24,000. Like you used to be able to buy a nice truck for $24,000.
A house, $200,000.
Yeah, totally. Now you're like,
like we had a golden era.
Yeah, it is.
You made enough money to buy a house and buy a sled, and you were doing all good.
And all you had to do was go out and film a video part and get some photos in the magazine, and it was like, hang with your friends and have a good time. Now you're like, on your phone, friggin' posting 19 things a month, trying to like, I mean, I'm probably the worst person at social media
I forgot this hashtag. I forgot the hashtag.
Yeah. But it's just, the whole industry's kind of shifted and it's different. I don't want to say Instagram killed it. I think it makes it more easy for like a non like super core snowboarder to see good snowboarding for sure, but it's not. I don't know. It's harder for us for sure.
Yeah. Well, if you were in one of the videos and you were in the mags, you
were set.
You're set. You're getting good contracts. You're making enough where you can buy a house and pay your living. And now the inflation's gone up and the pay's stayed the same or worse or whatever. So now it's like, I feel sorry for some of the kids coming up. It's like, you want to buy a house? It's like, shit.
Dude, it's crazy.
Good luck.
Dude, it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard for everyone now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think about it all the time with like Jer and Gabe, like the Ben superstars right now. I'm just like, it's so nuts with freaking 8% interest rates. And if you want to buy a house, it's just, everything's so expensive.
Okay, let's get back into snowmobile because I want to talk about Down with People, the Ender.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect jump, they call it in Logan.
Yeah, that is far from a perfect jump, I'll tell you. Let me just wedge up here. No, that jump's great. I had like a super rogue back 7 almost off the heels on that.
Yeah, it's almost like a back rodeo.
Yeah, it was. It was
unintentional?
Super unintentional.
Okay, I wanted to ask about that.
It was like, I don't know what, I got fucked up on the end run or something and like went like that. But ended up going into the video part, and then I was like, you know what? I've been hitting, that year I was hitting a lot of jumps on the snowmobile. I was like, yeah, let's do this. Let's fucking do this. So I come in, I hit it, and the sled was kind of clapped at that point. Something was going on with the clutch, but I like tapped the brake, and it locked up way more than I thought, and I couldn't get it back. And I'm like, I'm doing this to it, and it's just like, oh no. And it was just, I got super lucky the sled didn't like completely, it ran over my helmet. The ski did, it like clipped it. But I was pretty fine. The thing that hurt the most is I caught my knees going over the bars. Standard. And I'd like that was like, okay, am I okay? And then immediately like, why the fuck did you do that? Like get hurt jumping your snowmobile while you're getting paid to snowboard. It was, I don't know.
That ended your jumping career for the most part? Or?
For the most part. I'll still catch a little air sometimes, but not like that anymore.
Yeah.
It only takes one, you know?
And for the listeners that don't know, like when you go off the jump, to level out, if you want your nose to drop down, you tap the brake.
Just give a little bit.
And then if you want the tail end to come back down, you whack the throttle. It sounds like the throttle.
We got a little jammed up in there. So some sort of clutch issue or something. It's
a nice
dark.
slow tip forward. The brake tap was great, but you just didn't whack quite enough on the way back down.
Yeah. It was actually, I don't know. It was like a full stunt sort of a deal, but people are like fired. I don't know. People loved it. They're just like, yeah. Like, I mean, you're talking about it today. You know, it's like one of those things where it makes me kind of want to like, I want to go out and like try and film more snowmobile shit.
Oh, it's amazing.
Oh, I remember didn't you have a Volcom ad where you're like,
oh yeah,
wearing sunglasses,
that was
side-hilling,
Mr.
like,
Plant.
Yeah,
Mr.
drinking
Plant
beer.
intro.
So I was filming.
Explain that.
Yeah, Pat, Gooch, and Carter was there for sure. We were out in Jackson and we were riding lines. And Gooch came down to pick me up, and my airbag was on the ground, and he rode over just a corner of it with the sled and deployed the airbag, and I was like, fuck. And I was like, whatever. This is a funny joke. Jump on the sled, side hill across, I have the beer in my hand. And then they ended up running the ad. I was like, I don't know. It just ended up being what it was, I guess. But yeah, when you get back on the ski do it, side hill's so easy that you can drink a beer and drive one-handed.
Yeah, I like that.
That's why doesn't Ski-Doo have like you can lock out the T-motion to basically make it a Polaris, right?
Yeah,
That's how it goes?
Yeah, I did that to my sled.
The Polaris. You said it wrong, actually.
Polaris.
It's pronounced Polaris. Now, I got some other hard-hitting topics here. We got to talk about farm to table. And it's quoted as the least productive crew he has ever been with from Russell Dalby.
That was one of the most fun years of my snowboarding, I think. There was some highs and lows. Actually, Ika and I got into it a couple of times.
Peaks and valleys.
Ika's like one of my best friends, one of the best people in the world, but like when he's not getting tricked, he can be mood swingy, and I can too. Like I'm a little more kind of even keel, but when I get like, I don't know. There was like one day where we kind of got into it, and I was like, it was just like over nothing too, you know, because we're filming each other, which is fucking hilarious. Like picturing Ika and I filming each other trying to make a movie. And it was like, should I write it or should you write it? And he's like, you write it. I'm like, no, you write it. Because I was like, stand up. He's like, okay, I'm going to write it. And then I think he was bummed that I wrote it. And it was like one of those. And then I don't know if it was like a filming thing that I fucked up or he fucked up. And it was just like, but like, I don't know. It was one of the most fun years I had.
What was the concept of the movie?
The concept was like, go out and like film like we're filming in a way, but then like just post everything like right away. Which
hence farm to table.
But when you're filming like backcountry snowboarding solely, like you're not posting that much. You know? You know what I mean?
When you're the least productive crew,
Oh my God.
you're not posting that much.
So there's this guy, photographer Russell Dalby, great, one of the best Canadians there ever was. Rides an Arctic, by the way. Insane snowmobiler. I mean, this thing is a
Meow.
fucking turd wagon. And he'll get it in places that I can't get the turbo. It's insane. And he's just like, I think at that time too, he was like kind of running on his own dime. Like snowboard photography is probably not the easiest thing to make money at anymore, for sure. And he's just like still coming out with us. And he's like, so like, are we going to hit some shit or what's going on here? And we're just like sitting there like, well, that looks kind of good. You know, like we're just so like relaxed about everything, zero stress. And then we ended up making a final product that was pretty funny. I wouldn't say it was going to win any awards or anything.
Also, it lived on Vimeo.
Yeah, it did live on Vimeo. It was great. Tim Burrell sponsored it. Thank you, Tim Burrell.
I had a hard time finding it. I was actually doing my research, but yeah.
Well, we definitely, I mean, music rights were not locked in.
Yeah,
for sure.
what was the gear? What camera gear and stuff were you using?
GH5. Panasonic GH5 is the best camera ever made. I mean, that thing lived in, like, talk about drying out your gear. Like, when you leave that sucker in the truck for, like, 3 nights and pull her out of the bag, and she's still firing, like, that thing is solid.
Are we talking lens caps or?
No, fuck lens caps. Extra weight.
Extra weight. Alpine style. We're going straight Alpine style. Cutting on weight. Battery charger? Nah.
No, that was one of the most fun winners of my life. Ika's freaking...
There's great clips in that. That's good. You guys filmed some good shit.
And then we ended up linking up with Ben Shetler for like his van adventure movie.
Oh yeah, adventure.
We ended up helling like 2 days at the end and doing follow cams with this ski chef guy. That guy fucking sucked. But it was like, I mean, I don't mean to talk shit on him. It was fine. But like he made the movie, and like the ending segment in the movie is Ika, Chris, and I riding this bowl, and he's follow camming it. But like he thought it was weird to put our names in the movie, so then it was just like Chris riding with friends and Whistler, and we have clips in the movie, but he like wouldn't put our names in it. And Chris is like, "Dude, I'm so sorry." I'm like, "Chris, it's all good. Like we don't care at all." But then like GoPro follow cam movie goes fucking viral, and I was like, it would have been pretty cool if the names were in it. And there was like good shots.
You know what my favorite shot in that movie was?
What?
Joe Carlino on a snow bike going over the handlebars.
Dude, that worked.
Big shout out to Blake Paul. He like gave us, that was his clip, and he helped edit a bunch of it and like music, and Blake's like a social movie editing mastermind. Legend.
Yeah, was that edited on iMovie or what?
No, it was Premiere, please. Color correction? None. Music rights? None.
Let's talk snowboarders on the Roosters, on the sled. Who's notable out there that's proficient?
I mean, fuck, there's so many. Like, all the Canadians are so good. Mikey, Dustin. Yeah, Dustin's an animal. Dustin's, like, as good as anybody, and he also weighs, like, 115 pounds. So you'll be climbing up something, and it's just like, well, later. Who else? There's, like, U.S. dudes. Carter Gooch are great. Austin is, like, I hate to say this, because he's, like... It's Austin, you know, but he's a weapon, and he rides like 4 times a year, and he's always like, snowmobiles, this and that, turbos, blah blah blah. But he can like get anywhere. He's super good on the snowmobile. Ben, Ferg, Gabe, Jared's really good. Jared's brother Jonah's insane.
Jonah's a ripper.
Yeah,
Catches airtime.
You can buy that sled right now. I think that thing's for sale.
Justin
That
Eels.
thing is clapped. You do not want to buy Jonah's sled.
I saw some comments posted about that. It's like, wow, you've got some crazy miles on this thing for a 23. It's like, how are you going to answer that?
It's actually got 6 A-arms that have been put on it. Yeah.
But it is crazy, like, how much better the snowmobiles have gotten.
Yeah.
Like, what used to take you a full day to get somewhere is now just, like, half throttle, like, right there. And, what else was I going to say? Like, if you're, like, trying to get into this and, like, you get the opportunity, I mean, to film with somebody or, like, a snowboard crew that, like, is doing the backcountry thing on the snowmobile, like, and you have a snowmobile, like, put some time in. Like, go out without your snowboard. Like, go to the mountain, like, at Mount Batch or right across the street, ride at the mountain, and then go across the street and just go snowmobile for, like, 2 hours a day. Because, like, when you're, like, trying to break into a crew and, like, you know, like, get taken out there, if you're, like, slowing everybody down and, like, not, like, helping, it's just, like, I mean, people are still gonna, like, I would never say anything bad about someone that's, like, not, you know, helping break trail or helping double or do that. But like, There's the worst thing ever is when you're fucking battling
really?
a trick and you're fucking. I mean, I will talk a lot of shit.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Continue your.
But the worst thing ever is like when you're battling a trick and you're frustrated, or you're hitting something big and you're scared, and you got some fucking rook and he just buries the sled on the way up to the top. You're just like, that's exactly what I needed right now. Let's take a 45-minute break here and get this unstuck. You know, or like something like it's just like that, and like be proficient with your avalanche gear and that. Like, I like how I'm saying all this and I go to Antarctica and forget my fucking splitboard things. You know, it's like, but that does make a huge difference. Like, there's this kid, Kai Huggan from Bend, who we took to Idaho last year, Austin, and I was like, let's see what's going on. Like, he ripped snowboarding and he was just like fully self-sufficient, could W anywhere, could do anything, was like riding out of his fucking boots. I was like, you got it. You could go out with you could go up to Canada and hang with Mikey and he wouldn't be mad at you whatsoever. Or Gooch and Pash and those dickheads.
all right. So this is good because we talked about who's great on the snowmobile. I want to know, you've snowmobiled with a lot of people in your lifetime, many names. Who has been just kind of the worst? Who's been the worst that you've gone out with? It's really stood out and just.
I mean, I hate to air somebody out like that, but Colin Wiseman. Hands down. Love the guy to death. Love the Snowboarders Journal. Love everything they're doing over there. But he had a day in McCall with passion. He threw up like, it must have been over 20. Best part about 20 stuck. Best part about this too.
This is rich. Yeah,
is
this is a
Austin,
rich story.
Ejac, Connor, and I are breaking trail, and it's like, you know, handlebar deep, and we're just having a ball, just
Burning
like going all over the place. And little did we know, because I'd never snowmobiled with him before. I mean, but you could tell there were signs, but it was not for sure.
Was it the minivan towing? The
Minivan
snowmobile?
towing the single place was a red flag at the time. But so we're out there just having a ball. We're ripping shitties. We're exploring this new
Burned
zone.
almost a full tank of gas.
Oh no, for sure. I'm down to a quarter. Light might be on. Who knows?
You should tee up the parking, the leaving the house first.
Oh yeah. So we get this Airbnb in McCall, and I think he arrived late even. I can't remember, but we're all whatever. We're walking out in the morning. It snowed 2 feet overnight, and he parked on the road with the minivan and the single place trailer. And the snowplow did not like where he parked or something because he piled up. It was like over halfway up the windows, just like this snow castle around the minivan and the single place trailer. Like, I walked out, I was crying, laughing. And then we're like chipping at this. It took forever to get it out, but whatever. We go out snowmobiling. New zone, we're exploring, breaking trail. Pash is in the back, you know, on cleanup duty. We didn't know what kind of day he was having until we met up with him when the gas light came on. And he's just like, I've never actually seen you mad like that before. I mean, he wasn't like mad, but Austin, like we talked about it, we're like, dude, I think like we fucking finally broke him. Like, he can take a lot of shit, but like, we called his wife on the way home. We're like, Aaron, I don't know. Like, he might be fucking mad at us at this point.
Well, and to Colin's defense, you know, we're exploring some new zone, breaking trail and everything. There's no tracks anywhere and whatnot. And so you would imagine if like not everyone is a very strong snowmobiler, you'd have these guys like, you know, okay, we're going to put in one track and then each snowmobile is going to follow in that track to basically create a paved road,
Like
right?
a perfect highway.
Yeah, just a nice smooth highway. Well, not with these assholes.
We
Like
did
these
the
assholes,
opposite of that.
it's
Turbo
like
trenches.
Yeah, it's like a pack of bees, and they're like, and just destroy anything that was smooth. And I'm in the back just watching this, and I'm like, Colin's fucked, man. This is fucking so bad. And so what happens is you start going through the deep snow, and then you get caught in a rut, and all of a sudden you're bouncing from rut to rut, and just bouncing all over. So it was like set up for disaster right off the bat. And I was like, I'm gonna fucking kill you guys, you assholes.
I'm never getting another photo run in the Snowboarders Journal, by the way.
Probably not. Yeah.
All right, guys, it's time to talk about Bubs Naturals. They always support the show, so we always want to support brands that support snowboarding. And at Bubs Naturals, today we're going to talk about their coffee, the Bubs Brew. It's a delicious bean. You know, when you want to get work done in an office environment, you got to stay caffeinated. So we hammer the Bubs Brew on a regular basis. It's the first coffee bean to be Whole30 approved. It's USDA organic, it's fair trade, and it's delicious. And 10% of all of their profits go to charity. They also have their Bubs Collagen, which is great for your skin, hair, nails, and can be great for recovery as well. And then they have their hydration packs. So their hydration packs are an easy way to stay hydrated, better than water. They're just little packets. You put them in water, and there's no added sugars. I think there's over 2,000 milligrams of electrolytes. And simple as that, they taste good, they're good for you, and they keep you hydrated. So if you're interested in picking up some Bubs Naturals, head on over to bubsnaturals.com and use promo code BOMBHOLE for 20% off your order.
All right, let's get back into it. We've talked about some hard-hitting topics here. Obviously, the webbed feet, run over by naked boogie boarder.
This is just a roasting at this point.
Yeah, it's nice.
No, on a non-roast change of gears, though, your method, you got a great method. You got a great one. And I actually am curious. I want to talk methods. And you go in front of the binding.
I go behind binding.
Or behind binding.
Yeah.
Walk us through what makes a good method, your technique.
There's so many different, everyone's got their own, I don't know. There's so many different ones and there's so many good ones and there's some people might think that, but that's what's right about snowboarding. It's all personal preference and what inspires you or what you like or whatever it is that someone's doing while doing a method. But the ones that inspired me, that's all I can really talk to on that would be, I mean, it's weird to say, but like Terrier's got an insane one. I was always drawn towards like the way it almost like tries to get the board level with his head, I guess. And Jamie on the other side is more of, he does it a little more down, which I've always loved. And I don't know, there's so many good ones. Like right now, I don't know, like the Fergusons have crazy methods, but I think it's like all the half pipe kids have the best ones, I feel like. But then you got like totally different style, like Lando or Blair, like, I don't know. It's like such a weird individual signature on what you do. But I don't know what makes a good one or what makes a bad one, I guess.
So for you, I've noticed that you hold melon for a second and then you yoink it up.
Mm-hmm. It's not something I try to do either. I don't know why. It's weird for me when I try and do it too. It's like people think that you'd like take off on your toes, but I almost like take off on my heels is what it feels like. It's probably pretty flat base, maybe even toes, but you almost like jump into it like off your heels that way. That way it's easier to bring back maybe. I don't know. It's weird.
Like you almost alley-oop it.
Yeah.
Or like a backside wall on a straight air.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would be it.
Has all the yoga that you do like helped out on that?
Oh yeah, namaste.
Dude, the pub beers contribute to the good method.
Yeah. It's just watching people do it and trying to like emulate someone's method, I guess, would be what got mine to where it is. One thing, my biggest pet peeve with mine is I feel like I pull it back too quick. It's hard to like leave it out there because then you start drifting. So like the guys like Ben Ferguson does a really good job of like holding it out there and somehow getting it back. I don't know. There's a few of them where I'm like, how the fuck did you do that? I saw a freaking Haldor Helgeson method today on the internet from their movie, and I was like, that one's fucking insane.
Oh, kind of off the cliff drop, like
it's like
drop.
Like doing a method off like a flat takeoff is like the hardest thing in the world.
That
And he
was
gets
pretty
his
sick.
board like up by his head. It's pretty impressive.
Well, the thing too is in our era of coming up, since there was a shitload of magazines, that like a good method is a photo in the magazine.
For sure.
And you can make a career off of it. In a
Yeah.
sense. And nowadays, if there's no magazines, the method is maybe less valuable. I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe I retract my statement.
So you're telling me that I just canceled all my Snowboarders Journals photos for the next 15 years?
The mag that's going to run the method for sure.
For sure, I will no longer be getting published in. Again, Colin, I apologize. If we were to go split boarding, you would be on the other side of the fence. You know what I mean?
One minivan comment, and here we go.
You brought up the minivan.
It's true. Maybe no photos are going there. Fuck, we fucked ourselves.
Okay, let's hit some Patreon questions, Silk D. Maybe hit lasers, Chris Luzier.
Yeah, let's do it. Curtis, we were rookie diggers together in 2003. Can you tell us about the time Sean Powell finally let you drive the digger bus down from Timberline? And if you can also talk about what it was like being a digger at 15.
Okay, before this, Chris Lazier, great human. He's the mayor of Bend. They undisputed. I mean, there's an election every year, and there's no one's running against him. You know, he owns it. Okay, so being a digger at 15 years old was a crazy opportunity that James Jackson. I worked in his snowboard shop in Bend. It was called Side Effect before, and we snowboarded a lot together with Jan and Mayan and all that. And then he gave me the opportunity to go up and dig at High Cascade. Like, wasn't getting paid. It was like dig to ride style, you know? And I wasn't even really digging. I was in the banner management department, aka banner bitch. You know, it's the worst job ever. I'm like
management.
Fuck off. So like dragging all these huge banners around. It's windy. Half the time the drill battery's dead. It's like all salted and icy. It was the worst. But having the opportunity to go up there and be able to snowboard all summer and skateboard, like, I mean, we met at last call, but like we really started hanging out at High Cascade. Like High Cascade used to be like, I don't know, like the pre-pro snowboarder like training grounds or something. Like the whole industry was there. I mean, this guy had like team houses up there at that point, and like, I don't know, it was super rad. But they finally let me drive the Jigger van down. I don't know if I was 15 or 16 at the point, and I like downshifted it, and I don't know if I dropped the tranny out of the bottom of it or like just blew. I think it like over revved, and I like locked up the engine on like they've had this like old General Digger bus forever. But like, in my defense, it was like everybody on the bus, like, you didn't do anything wrong. It just like happened. Cause like you always just ran it in a low gear. Cause like that road's super gnarly. You don't want to be on
braking down the hill.
Yeah. You don't want to be like on the brakes all over the place. But yeah, I fully blew it up. And then they didn't let me drive anymore after that. But eventually I got out of the banner management role and was a real digger.
Now let's talk about the all-star pedigree of co-employees that you were working with.
I mean, so it was crazy. Like the coaches and the diggers, there was like, I mean, at that point it was like you, Scott Stevens. You worked up there. Did you dig to ride for a while?
I dug to ride when you were working up there, but I worked up there after you had left.
After I'd left.
But yeah, Scott was working there the year before me.
Scott was there. Like Jesse Burtner was up there. Who else was up there? On the coach side.
Like maybe Geno
was up there.
Was it James or Tonino at this time?
It was James.
James, okay.
But Tonino would like come for a bit every year.
Okay.
Preston
Strout.
All-star.
Dude, one of the smartest, funniest people I've ever met in my life. That guy's a legend. And I've never seen anybody throw a dodgeball faster in my life than Preston. And you wouldn't expect it. He had to stop playing because he like blew too many kids' faces up, which he would never do because he's also the nicest person in the world. Great human. But on the digger side, you had Josh Mills, Brian Fox, Austin Smith, Joe Mertez, and then
Curtis, the other Curtis,
Curtis Sorensen.
Sorensen, yeah.
This guy Andy LAAX. Who was this guy?
Andy LAAX.
There's a Burton rep from like Colorado.
No, it's Josh Fisher.
Josh Fisher. Burton rep
Fisher
here
was
now.
there, yeah.
I forgot about Fisher was amazing actually. Fisher was the man. Those High Cascade years were some like, I mean, it was such a rad time. And then to go on to like start traveling and riding for different brands and like, oh, we all worked at High Cascade together and we're seeing each other all over the world. And like, I don't know, it was a really fun time in life. You snowboard or like dig, snowboard, and then you go down and we'd all skateboard and like eat ice cream and just eat like the worst Cisco food and then shit our brains out or whatever. But it was always like, I don't know, it was just fun. Like you're just nonstop all summer long.
There was some rites of passage because you guys had set the bar pretty high because we were the generation after you guys, and I feel like some of them were like the Palmer Point.
Oh yeah, the Palmer Point. That was
straight lining it from the lift.
Fuck, dude, there was some good ones with those. Just like straight lining from the lift all the way down. It'd be like 6 deep wide, like sheet ice in the morning, just going terminal velocity basically. I mean, on the snow, what you could do. I remember Matt Edgars, he was a digger one year, Washington local, great snowboarder, great dude. First morning, Palmer Point blew his collarbone out. Day one, just gone. Just like, fuck.
What about like the banner booby trousers?
Yeah, the holes.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
Can you maybe explain what those are and how you'd make them? Because we went on to continue this legacy.
Yeah, so I say that like we'd be up there snowboarding all day, but like, you know, it's fifth session. You're up on the glacier, you're hiding from the sun, and you're just bullshitting. And the diggers kind of ran like the check-in for like the guests that would come into the camp and blah, blah, blah. And like we'd like set the fence up so you had to like come through this gauntlet. And you guys touched on this on James's tutorial or interview or bomb hole. And but we'd like dig these huge holes and then we'd like bridge it with just like an inch of snow and salt it.
With a banner, right?
With a banner or like some meshing. Sometimes you didn't have to do that. You just salt it and like... Yeah. And people would come up to check in. They're always already kind of nervous because James was kind of intimidating. He was kind of like a scary dude. Like I was always scared of him back then. And they're all nervous already. And then all of a sudden they're just like, the holes are so deep, they're like falling in and racking their nuts on like the salted corners and stuff. And just like, But then we had to stop doing it. I think someone might have gotten hurt at one point and it was like, but I don't know. Like even the generation before me when I was working up there, like the diggers were always like Tonino's era, which Tonino is one of the nicest people when you get to know him. But like, those guys used to be gnarly. Like, they had to kick people out and get in fights and shit.
Vividly remember, like, as this is when my Solomon days and having to go and check in and whatnot. And it was always Tonino at first, and I remember being like, oh man, okay, be on best behavior, Tonino. Hey, I'm checking in. There's 4 of us today. Like walking on eggshells around you. And what was also like, it was like the mandatory uniform. Everyone in black.
Yeah, everyone in black.
It was like dead middle of summer, just like let's bake.
I don't know. I don't get it.
I think that the park before the rope tow was better because when you'd hike a jump, or you get to the top of it and you're like, well, I already did 360. I don't want to do another warm up.
100%.
You're like, I'm going to do my 7 or whatever.
Fuck, now it's go time. Like, it takes like 10, 15 minutes to hike back up there. I don't know. And everything was just slower pace. I feel like less kids, but I don't know. Now everything's changed up there. It's definitely not what it used to be.
Is it full rope tow for all the stuff now?
Yeah, it's all just a public park.
Yeah, okay.
I think, and then the pipe, you have to pay a shitload to ride. It's like $200+ for the pro pass or whatever.
Wow, that's crazy.
But yeah, it's a different deal. It is. We were in a great moment in time.
Yeah. We were for sure. And I'm sure it's still amazing. Like snowboarding in the summer at Mount Hood. It's got to be awesome. But everything was a little more loose back then too. Like, I think I was like up till I was 18 and it was like parties at the Digger house, and we'd all go to the coast on the in-betweens. And
did you guys ever like zip tie people into the salt boxes when they fall asleep in them? And
we'd zip tie each other to the chairs. I remember actually one of the funniest ones I ever did. It's like 6 a.m, or not, because we go up fucking early before everybody. And it's like windy and icy, and it's just the shittiest morning ever. And Austin's sitting on the chair next to me, and I just kick his heel strap on his binding, and his board just falls off on the middle of Palmer. Just fucking rips down. And he's just got to walk like all the way down the Palmer snowfield. I mean, it's funny now, but not, funny but not funny. Haha, funny. If you knew Austin, it's funny.
Yeah, it's definitely funny.
Dude, it gets a little bit Lord of the Flies up there, though, too.
Oh, dude.
I remember Rooster, like, those shitty days when it's really windy and, like, flat light and you're up there and you don't want to, it's not even worse snowboarding.
There's no place you'd rather not be at that point. Yeah.
I remember, like, Brewster was hungover one day and, like, he was sleeping in the salt box, so naturally we zip tied it shut and then obviously took the steel spade shovels and just started, like, wailing on the outside of the metal box. It's like
straight torture chamber.
And then while he was in it, we had salted his board vertically into the snow. So he was all pissed off and obviously wanted to like leave the scene to where he had to undig his snowboard buried vertically in the snow with just the nose sticking out. And it's like that full Lord of the Flies, like move.
And that like, I mean, I was always the young guy on the dig crew, like the special kind of little bitch, if you will. Just like the 15-year-old kid running around all cracked out on Red Bulls or something. And those dudes used to fuck with me all the time. Like, it'd be the end of the day. We just got done doing the afternoon rake, and I'm like trying super hard. Blah, blah, blah. I get back up, and like, my little freaking 149's got like that much sticking out of it. And you're just like, fuck. And you're like, oh, I'll just dig it out. But it's like all the way down. You're just like chipping at it.
Oh, yeah.
You throw a little salt in every 6 inches, make sure that thing's locked up with ice.
I mean, I did it to people too, but it's like, yeah, it's not cool.
Rite of passage.
Yeah.
It's a rite of passage.
Okay, let's talk about another iconic maneuver. In Bend, when you guys would go out drinking, there was a time period where you guys would pull the snowmobile out of the people's truck beds.
I don't know how. I mean, I do know how it started. It's just like, and it wasn't like it happened to everybody. For whatever reason.
Who is the main victim?
Sam Hiltner, the shark. Because he'd always drive his truck to the bar with the sled in the back. I don't know if he was like trying to show it off or something.
It's a bit of a flex, yeah.
It's a full flex.
Yeah.
So we're walking.
It's a Polaris, then it's a...
Yeah, what brand are we talking here?
But it was like, dude, we did it to him like, I don't know. It was like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, every single week. It was just like, oh, he's here. He drove down here for sure. His car's parked somewhere, and he tried and like start parking in more like conspicuous places.
Hiding.
Yeah, and we're just like, I just wake up to the funniest text messages. I'm gonna fucking kill you guys.
So explain when you walk out to your vehicle and your snowmobile track is on the ground and your skis are on the tailgate. What's the process?
Oh my God. You need a couple humans. Like it's either that or like drop it all the way into the parking lot, set up the ramp, and load it back up. Like,
it's the load of shame.
But
it's the full shame load.
It's so funny. I mean, he would always be trying like hitting on girls or something. He'd walk out to the parking lot and just be like, damn it.
Hey, no, come back to my place. I got a car right out here.
Hey, hun, if you just grab the bumper back there and kind of lift with your with your quads. You don't want to throw the back.
How's your back? Maybe take those heels off.
Maybe take those heels off.
We're going to need you to really level in here.
Okay, let's talk jet ski purchase.
Oh, jet ski purchase was one of the better investments of my life.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, I think we've had a total of like one fun day on that thing. Probably owned it for 3 years now. And coming into it, I was like, this is going to be the best. Yes. So yeah, we got it. And the more notable story of the jet ski experience so far, besides it being stuck in my garage at the coast, I keep trying to put it in Austin's garage, and he's like, no. That stays in there. But we're going to launch it one day. The surf's pretty good. Oh, fuck, I could roast a lot of people on this one.
Yeah, you might need to hit one of those really quick before you're going.
Yeah, let's hit some salt.
It is way more aggressive. Like, every time I hear like, that's a tough batch. That's a tough batch. I was like, really? I was like,
that was a good pull on that one.
Yeah.
I felt that one like back in the neck.
It's good for the sinuses if you got a cold, I'm noticing.
It is.
Wow.
I still can't stop shaking from the Sudafed, but this thing is freaking.
That's good. It is shocking.
Wow. All
right. So we're launching this bad chicken. Yeah. And the only way to do it, well, there's multiple ways to do it. We don't know what the fuck we're doing about a jet ski, and we're trying to learn how to do step-offs on the Oregon coast. So we're like, all right, we'll just hook it up to the truck. And they're in Pacific City where we surf. Like, they do a lot of, like, dory boat launching out of there. It's, like, famous for that. And they just back the truck in, they pull it out. So you, like, can't stop. You, like, get it deep enough, like, just in, out. And if you stop, like, the way the water comes in with the sand, you just sink. And we're getting ready to launch. It's Jake, Austin, and I, and this other guy that is like the marketing guy for Tokyo Starfish and Ben, which McAllister and those guys own. And then Travis Yamada, OG Ben. He's probably the king of Ben. We'll call Chris the mayor, but Yamada's like the dude. I keep getting sidetracked. So we're backing it in. Jake's like, dude, I'm kind of sick. I don't want to put my wetsuit on. I was like, all right, you drive the truck. Austin and I'll suit up and like get it off when we get out there. I'm like, whatever you do, just don't fucking stop. Like, you just go. And so he's backing in, but like when you're backing the truck up and the waves are coming in, it kind of feels like you're moving, but you're not moving, which I probably could have told him that before. So he backing in and he just stops. I'm like, Jake, go. He's like, I am going. I'm like, Jake, go. And it's just like, he tries to go and just goes to the fucking frame. And I'm just like, and it was the first new truck I ever got. It's Dodge EcoDiesel, which ended up being the worst truck ever.
Those
but
are
it's
piles of shit.
Piles of shit.
Whoa, there's one in the parking lot.
No, you got the Cummins. Cummins is a nice piece. Nice piece. So yeah, it's wedged to the frame, and Yamada and Shirts are on the beach. I got a tow strap. I'm like, Shirts is there with his truck. And so I took up the tow strap. I'm like, give me a yank. And he's like, I got Tacoma. I don't want to fuck my truck up. So that sucked for me as well to go through that. And then Jake is like, can you carry me to the shore? And I was like, I want to fucking kill you right now. And he gets out and starts like filming me trying to dig it out. I'm just like, God, I hate you so much right now.
Waves just coming in.
Waves coming in. Luckily, the tide was going out. It didn't get in the cab, but like, call the tow truck. 150. They have like make a living off this. You can drive on the beach there. You've been there.
Oh yeah.
And people get stuck over the time. It's $150 for them to show up no matter what. Tow strap was already hooked up. He hooks it up, yanks it right out, whatever. I spend like, I think it was like $100 at the pressure washer, and there was like no shit, like this much sand when I drove the truck out of it at the pressure washer. And then I ended up like, dude, the thing's covered in salt water. I just traded it at the dealership like the next day. I was like, I can't private party sell this thing to somebody. Look at them in the eye. I'm like, dealership will probably take it.
Successful jet ski launch.
Yeah. So the jet ski's been a great purchase.
Jet ski's been a great purchase. We also didn't get the title for it, so it's not registered, which also sucks.
Yeah.
And then it's fucking those little like boards that they have on the back of those things. We had like a blow up one that a good buddy gave us, and then it exploded. And we're trying to get another one, but they're like $2,500.
The surfboard carry people like
so you can like slide back. Yeah, it's like a rescue sled. You can like slide up onto it. So we're trying to find another one of those, and it'll have its day. Mm-hmm. It should have had its day last week. The surf looked really good. We just got to get back out there. It's always like Austin's out there by himself or I'm out there by myself, but it'll have another day.
Yeah, 5 or so years it's going to go for sure.
But there's nothing better than like nuts to butts on a jet ski going through like big surf and you're just like, oh, like climbing. I mean, yeah. We've had some wild encounters. Jake,
I'll never quit you, Austin.
Exactly. Just like neoprene that's the only gap. You know what I mean?
I heard you got a good story rock climbing with Lucas Dabari.
Dude, Lucas Dabari, another fantastic. Oh, is that funny? Is that funny to you? Lucas Dabari.
Do you have the video? Are you going to play that video? Like, show the video of him in climb mode?
Lucas Dabari is a nut job, first of all. I mean, one of, like, the whole Dabari family is Mount Baker royalty. They're the best people ever. They used to come and stay with us in Mammoth when I lived there forever ago, but we had this thing where it was like, you come down to Bend, I'll go rock climb with you, and then I'll take you on the river. We'll like whitewater raft through like little whitewater section through town. He's like, okay, we're gonna go to Smith Rock. Austin and I show up. I'm like borrowing his brother's climbing shoes that are like 2 sizes too big, harness, the whole shit. And I was like, oh, we're just gonna climb something mellow, you know? And then it's like, there's this climb out there. It's called, there's a bunch of different routes on it, I think. It's called Monkey's Face. It's like this pretty famous, like, rock spire thing. It looks like a monkey's face. And it's, I don't know how high it is, maybe 300 feet. It's like a 3-pitcher to get up it.
What are we talking, 5'10", 5'10"B? I mean, I just started exploring, so I know a little thing.
He works at the North Face, just to let you know.
Totally.
Take note of the hoodie, right?
I think, honestly, it's like a 5'8", 5'9". Like, it's pretty basic, but there's like a bolt climb in the middle, and that's the best. This is the best part of this fucking story. So we climb up. It's like the first pitch. You get up, and you're on the shelf, and you're probably like, you know, there's good exposure, 80 feet off the ground. But then Lucas has to climb this bolt ladder because there's no holds, and then he puts in a line, and then his plan is for Austin and I to like use these jug things to climb up it.
The ascenders.
So he puts these 2 ropes down, and as we were like getting that set up, this like guide comes up onto the ledge, and this couple that's on like a guided climbing trip, I guess you can do that, kind of like what we're doing with Lucas. Not at all. So he's like 100 feet above us with these ropes hanging out of the monkey's face mouth. And he's like, yeah, so you hook your things up. And we're like hooking these things up. And then the guide's there. And he's like, you're fucking doing it wrong. You might die. So he like sets us up. And we're like, okay, we're good. And I'll never forget this. Like the couple, them, and that's like this, like, you know, ledge is like this table. And it's like 80 feet off. And Austin and I step out into what feels like outer space. And we start spinning at opposite directions. And we're just banging into each other in front of this couple. And I'm like 80 feet in the air, like trying to figure out how to, neither of us can figure it out. And the guide's trying to explain to us how to do it. The couple's sitting there like, people are doing this like it? But finally get it dialed. We get up there. And like, yeah, it was just a shit show from the start to finish. And like, but the ending move, you gotta like climb out of the monkey's face, like the mouth of it. And you have to like go upside down, and then you look down, and it's like 300 feet, and you're like, it was super cool for Lucas to go out of his way and make us do that. Knowing what we were doing, I wouldn't have gone if he would have told us. But after it was all over, like, dude, the freaking rappel off the top, he's just like, hey, you just gotta lean back and do the rope through the thing. I'm like, we're fucking indoor gym climbed before, and I'm like 300 feet rappelling down to the ground. I don't know, it was awesome.
Good stuff.
Some gold right there.
Good stuff.
I've got some funny horror stories from guiding, though, if you want.
I think we should talk fishing later in the show because we have a bunch of questions about your fishing stuff, which I'm particularly not interested in. So we'll save that for the end of the show.
Dude, it's such a small.
No one is.
It's such like, I'm telling you, there's like fly fishing, and then there's like steelheaded anglers, or like, it's basically Eric Leon, Eric Jackson, and I, and 5 other people in the world.
Yeah, we'll save that for the end of the show where
you might
everybody
be more
can tune
interested
out.
in the real jet boat fly guide stuff, the burner account that's going on out there.
Yeah, what's going on with that burner?
I think let's wait till we get to the more fishing, and we can bring it up.
All right, to get back into some snowboard stuff, you know what it's time for, Silk D?
I think it's time for Name That Video Part.
Oh, God.
I have always seen, like, always heard it. You know, I'm a big fan. And have always heard Silk's voice. And I've always wanted to see it in the flesh.
It is nice.
How'd I live up to the
face to the voice?
expectation?
Yeah, it's fucking soothing, my man.
Yeah, haircut and the shirt. It's
silky
nice.
voice, too.
It's nice.
Yeah,
I'm trying.
Yeah, he's got
Looking good over there.
He makes music, too. Actually produced a great track with an email from a disgruntled listener recently. Which will be coming out which will already be out by this time.
Yeah, I did get a little leak of that, and it is some nice. It's a nice piece. It's a nice piece.
Okay. For Name That Video Part, what's your confidence level, 0 through 10?
Dude, -20. But you never know. You never know. You might feed me an easy one, but like, I don't know.
I don't think you're going to get it.
You don't?
No, 0 chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't think I'm going to get it, I'm not going to get it. But let's go for it.
Okay, here we go.
mean, fuck, I'll take a stab, but I have. I mean, it could be a couple. I mean, it's gonna be like a Whitlakey Fox thing, I think. Nope, not even close.
Nah, I don't know if I'd consider him close. He is a friend of yours.
A friend of mine. So, now you're making me feel bad as well.
That's the thing that's great too. A very close friend. Dear friend, some might say.
There's no way it's an Austin part.
It is an Austin part.
But it's Harvard because he never picks his own music. What movie is it from?
Nike Never Not.
Oh yeah, Nike movie, zero chance.
Yeah,
zero chance.
So you got a participation award there. You got a bomb hole.
I get a lot of participation awards.
It's like a Make-A-Wish Foundation over here today.
It is, exactly. So, yep, you're welcome. You got some bomb hole merch in there that you didn't earn, really.
Sorry, Joko, for not recognizing that song.
Yeah. I thought it was fun, too, that Austin, can be disappointed in you as well.
Yeah, but I bet if you had played that to Austin, he wouldn't know that part.
Oh, what? 0% chance.
Can I tell you that Austin Smith is the most useless person on planet Earth when it comes to, I call friends of the guests for intel, and I've called him for many a guest, and he comes up. I'm like, let's talk about Curtis. And he's like, yeah, don't remember anything. Do you remember this story? Don't remember it.
Legitimately, same shit yesterday. I'm talking to him because I'm like, oh, I'm going down to help host, blah, blah, blah. I'm really kind of nervous. I need some more beta. I think I've got some stuff. I'm not sure. He's like, yeah, I don't really remember any of it. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you were worthless.
Yeah. It's got to be some concussion thing. I'm kind of worried about the guy, in all honesty. Yeah. I don't know if he knows what he had for lunch yesterday. I'm like, it is concerning though. But he's taking supplements and doing all this stuff.
He's got supplements going.
I've seen him 3 times in the backcountry, whites of his eyes, come back. Dude's racked his dome a few times.
Yeah. Got to get a couple more brain cells put back in there somehow.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Part 2. Name that video part for the listeners. Here we go. Great video part. Love that one. Thank you guys for playing. Name that video part.
No.
I legitimately listen to this show so much, I have never gotten one.
All right, we're talking video parts. Let's talk video parts. You've had a Seattle slew of these things.
Yeah, there's been a lot of years.
What's your favorite part of all the years?
Fuck, I have no idea. No idea. Maybe the Mr. Plant year was good. It's always the video part thing's always you're never there's no way you're ever going to be happy with it. At least me personally. The Mr. Plant year was pretty good. The
Joko year
was pretty good. The people years were some of my favorite years. And definitely shout out to Pierre Manhondo. Rest in peace, legend. And also Justin Eels, because those guys for sure gave me my first shot. Because back when we were coming up, it was if you could get the opportunity to film with those guys, then you were a pro. If you were in the movie, you were a pro. And those guys were can you come and film for us? And I remember at that time, Volcom, they were kind of on the edge because I kind of failed the scramble year. I think I was 17, 18. And then those guys asked me to film for the movie and they got all fired up. And they're like, you got to ride our boards and we'll buy you into the movie. And then I hit up Lib to try and split it and they said no. So then I started on the Volcom boards. But those guys fully gave me a shot to become a professional snowboarder. I'll never forget that.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
For sponsors, your first board sponsor was Morrow, right?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, they they gave me a board. I think my first paycheck was from Volcom.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then you rode Lib boards in Volcom.
Yeah, Lib boards. And I think Lib gave me some travel money. And same with Volcom. It was travel in the beginning and then film the first part and got the cover of Transworld and then it was on.
Yeah.
And then it was hey, I'm making money. I can do this.
Was cool. the Whistler Curtis jump? That was later, right?
Yeah, that was this.
Which was the first cover?
I think that was later. What was it? No, I think it was the video part, and then I can't remember what year we got the cover. It was one of the People movies because they gave it to me at the premiere. God, I'm like Austin right now. I have the worst memory ever.
But that's the jump in Whistler that's the Curtis cover jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, that jump's sick.
Which is pretty cool. Mikey and those guys call it, even though Aero Niemela went and freaking destroyed that thing later. Mikey's always oh yeah, the Curtis cover jump. And I'm that's cool. They call it that. To have some sort of little feature in there is It's pretty cool.
Then you front fived it, got the cover? Is that what it was?
Front 7 melon.
Front
I think.
7 melon. Okay.
I think. Yeah.
And that was sick, and they surprised you at the premiere?
Yeah. Yeah. And it was like, that was actually a pretty funny Austin story. They were like, Austin knew it was coming, so he was like trying to get me super fucked up, but totally failed, and he just got completely annihilated. I think JP Walker choked him out at the premiere. That's how drunk he was. And
Can we get some more context on that?
yeah, I don't know. He was just out of his mind, hammered, and like being an idiot, and probably fucking with JP, knowing Austin. And JP was like, "All right, enough." Which, yeah, whatever. It was funny. Yeah.
Like, what is it about Bachelor, actually? Like, now that you're just touching base on it, but like, I mean, it's, I mean, legitimately, like, if there's anywhere flatter than Colorado, it's probably Bachelor.
Okay.
But there's the talent that like comes out of that zone is psycho. It's crazy between, you know, you and Austin and the Fergs and Jer and even before that, like McAllister and Dirksen and Yamada and the list goes on forever and ever. It's crazy though.
I don't know. It's a really, it's kind of cool. Like here, like this place is kind of has the same vibe, right? Like you guys are definitely probably the main hub for pro snowboarders, I would say. But like for how small Bend is and how kind of like we're all really close, which is kind of cool. Like we'll go watch football at freaking Ben's house and it's like Austin, Ben, Gabe, Jared, me, you know, like you'll see like at the mountain, everyone's riding together always. Where I feel like here, there's so many, there's probably like different cliques maybe and different resorts. I guess you guys have different options for that, and depending on where you live in the city. But I don't know. But like seeing like what Ben and Gabe and Jared and now there's this new generation that's coming too, which is super exciting.
Yeah, Kai and all those kids. Yeah,
this kid Elijah. It's like,
why are you guys so good?
I don't know. It's probably because the mountain is pretty flat, and you have to learn how to keep your speed and turn. There's so many like natural features and
Lords of the Traverse. Lords of the Traverse.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah. I've put down a couple of mean traverses in my day. Texted him about one last year.
Yeah.
Like,
they've called like mid-traverse and they're like, Pash, you would love this right now. We're mid-traverse. We've got another solid 20 minutes. I was like, what the fuck? You're calling me right now?
All to hit like probably like a 14-foot jump and then traverse all the way back, you know?
Just see their calves for the toe side traverse. These are unbelievable.
But it makes sense here, right? Like, I mean, here there's how many resorts? 6 or 7 resorts within a half hour of where we're sitting right now. But
yeah.
In Bend, you're like, there's literally Bachelor. And my only thought like behind that always is like, I don't know, maybe they're training so much at the summer camps. Like, you know, maybe Hood has been really good to them or something. I don't know.
I do think like a weird, and I might be totally off, but like the snowboard scene there, it's big, but it's also pretty small. And like we all ride together, like even like Kai or like those kids, like, I don't know. And when I started riding there, like I'd ride with James and Jana and Dirksen sometimes. Like it's a pretty small community, and then you start riding with the dudes that are like doing it, and it like, I don't know if it makes you like give you that feel like I can do this, or if it's like, you know, I don't know, you just get better riding with better people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's no real step skippers. Everybody's got rock solid fundamentals.
For sure.
That's a huge part of it, I feel like.
Yeah, like those kids, Ben, Gabe, and Jared, they're all just like, dude, those kids are so good. They're good in freaking Alaska. You're like, what? It's fine.
Well, I feel like you can kind of bullshit your way into being a good handrail snowboarder. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't like, I'm being serious. Like, I grew up in Massachusetts. Sometimes you're dropping in on a dropping ramp and you're going dead straight, and then you just got to like get your board onto the rail and like survive. Like,
yeah, but you're gonna get paid the fuck out if you don't.
But it doesn't necessarily make you able to destroy the mountain and read terrain and all that stuff. That was something that was interesting talking to Billy Anderson. Is he was saying that at a young age he saw that you had an eye for like reading terrain, like where you knew how to do a pow turn when you were like fucking 10 years old.
I don't know if surfing comes into that or if it's just like watching him do it. I mean, I'm not going to freaking stroke that dude off too much, but he's done a lot for me. And like, he was like, I want that method. I want to be able to turn like him. Although he was goofy foot, which was super hard. I wished I was goofy so bad, but I'm like, too late. Oh, must be nice, Pash.
God stance.
God stance, yeah. But it was just like, you see who, all of us did it. It's like you're not like exactly emulating them, but you're like, I want to do it like that.
Yeah, your role models having like Billy Anderson helps you. You're going to have a good method.
For sure.
You're going to have a good method.
For sure. You're just like, I want to be like that person. And they're the pro snowboarders. You're like, I want that life.
Mm-hmm. It also probably makes sense a lot around Bachelor. Like you're always trying to like get speed.
Here we go.
So you're always trying to like press through stuff and whatnot. But
it is funny though. Like anything over 2 feet at Bachelor, and you're just like, okay, I made it to here. Let me take off my board. And I'm just kind of post holing through the flats. I can strap back in. Okay, hang on. But now with like equipment and stuff, like people are showing up like 210 swallowtails, and you're just like, you get one of them in the group, and you're like, okay, you bust a trail. Then the jump lines are in, and it's like, that's all it is.
It's like the Turby kind of.
It totally, 100%. And you're like, Turby's out front. You feel me, Pash? Ski-Doo?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Honestly.
But yeah, it's all natural jumps. I think that's mainly the big part of it.
And also, you guys all seem to be good at bank slaloms. Like, that's very prestigious. Like, on the Northeast, nobody gives a shit about bank slaloms. You know what I mean? But, like...
It's such a funny deal in the Northwest.
Yeah, Northwest, it's like... You know, we got rail jams. You guys got Baker banked.
Dude, you'll see, like, the fucking gnarliest Baker dude in the world up there who's, like, there's guys like Dan and Shay, and everybody's stressed out, or, like, Eggers and Blair, and they're just like the mind fuck around the bank slalom about like doing good. It's just like, I need this. And I'm the same way. Like, I want to win that thing so bad, but it's just like, it's such a stress. It's, I don't know. In the Northwest community, it is like the freaking holy grail.
It's like racing motocross kind of.
Totally.
Because racing's amazing. It's not subjective.
Exactly.
I went faster than you did.
Straight up.
It's the best bragging rights there is. You can't argue that you had a better run.
Yeah. It always comes down to, well, I had that one bobble in turn 15 where my tail kind of went over the lip. I think I lost about 8 seconds there somehow. You know?
Kurt, do you got duct tape? You have duct tape?
I have a third place in Pro Men.
Did you do good when you were a kid too?
I got second in one of the kids' one. It was a good year. Was riding for Lib. It was my first bank slalom. Lubke got first. I got second. Ejac got third. It was all the Lib kids. It's pretty cool.
And then, so you got a third in the. You've had a lot of like top 10s, though, right?
Yeah, quite a few top 10s. A lot of 11s, which stings.
Nice.
But quite a few top 10s. I got a couple blankies back home. I used the blankies.
Has Austin ever beat you?
He has in the bank slaloms for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you got a Derby win, right?
Yeah, he's got I got 2 or maybe. I think it's just 2. Might be 3, but I think it's 2. And then Austin has 1 for sure.
And you have a really good double tap record.
Oh my God.
Can we talk about the double tap? I think you're at Brighton, right?
Yeah, worst slam of my life. And like, you know what's funny about all this is like my team manager is the biggest, sitting over here, the biggest internet troll there is. Maybe besides Pierre Wickberg. He's up there too.
Yeah, Pierre's
Richards is in there.
Yeah.
Great guy. So I come out to the double tap to help Austin and Brian with the drink water stuff because I'm like kind of a part of the thing, you know, in this weird way. And helping, I'm like, help shape the course, build it. And I'm like maintaining it. And then it was like Hans Mendick or someone didn't have somebody to race against. And fucking Austin's like, oh, well, you should go race him. And I'm like, I haven't taken a run through this thing. He's like, what? I mean, you shouldn't just be standing there. You should go race him. And I was like, all right, fuck it. So we get through like 3 corners and he starts getting in front of me and I'm like, oh no, motherfucker, it's on. Like, I'm going to turn it on. Start hauling ass, get down to like, there's like the make or break turn, you know, it's like a hard right hander on my toes and I'm going way too fast. And I like, toe edge just slips out of the berm and I just catch my face on the berm going out that way. And like goggles just like crunch my forehead. And you know, like, and it wasn't knocked out, but I got up and I was like, oh yeah, that was a good one. You know when it's a good one. And I was like, you know, like walk down and then luckily Tonino and Liz were up there, Copen, and Liz just like, all right, we're gonna go figure this out. Took me down, went to the body worker, which then Travis Rice and Bodie came in right after me. That race was fucking destruction.
They got bodied as well.
Dude, we all got fucked.
Took out some of the finest for sure.
But we went to your guys' body worker guy. Den. Den's a freaking animal. I mean, I don't know what was more painful, the crash or the freaking working he gave me on the table. But I was super nauseous. Then I got out of there. I was feeling super good. I was fine. Went and hung at Tonino's house. Drove home the next day, and I got to like Burns, which is like 3 hours outside of Bend on the 11-hour drive from here to Bend. And my eyes started swelling shut. So I'm like driving home, and like the last hour, I'm literally holding my left eye open. And I don't know what I'm looking like what I'm looking like, you know? And I open the front door, and my fiance, Melissa, my better half, bless her heart, she just starts bawling, crying. Like, straight crying, like, what the fuck happened to you, blah, blah, blah. Like, didn't even, like, get through the entryway, straight back, CAT scan, the whole deal. And then into, like, the freaking 4-hour talk from the doctor about wearing helmets, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you're right, shit, that's actually a good topic to talk about, I think, at some point. It's like, there's no reason why we all shouldn't be wearing helmets. But yeah, that was a brutal one. Then I had black eyes for like 2 more months, and then Pashley just kept like grabbing photos. And
we
then,
have
like,
some photos.
Yeah, photoshopping my face on nice people. I missed the Derby because I was like, I just didn't want to hit my head again, even though the derby's like very low consequence. But I just went up there and hung out and had 2 black eyes, and this guy's just giving me a hard time. And then it was like, black eyes for so long. I've got like a photo on the K2 website where it's like 3 months later and we're like Targi, and I still have just a little bit. Look, we haven't slept in like 2 weeks.
That was the let's help Kurt, he's hurt scenario.
Yeah.
The old double tap.
I'll never forget too, when I get like, I've been, fucked up pretty good a couple times. Like I put like a bed in my living room.
Yeah, I've heard about this.
Yeah, the living room bed. Everybody loves to talk about it. Austin's like, oh, God, what are you doing in here? I'm like, no, I'm just hurt. Nothing of what you think is happening is happening here. But Jake Price walks in. Love him. He's like, part of our family. He's one of my best friends.
Well, actually is part of the family.
He actually is. Technically is. Yep. Wish he wasn't, but no. But he walks in with like some flowers. Someone must have told him. I was like, it was pretty funny. Just starts crying, laughing, puts the flowers down, doesn't say a word, leaves. And I'm just like, that makes me feel better, Jake. It's good to see you too.
Can we talk about the bed in the living room scenario? Mm-hmm. Can you elaborate on the reasons?
Well, okay, so my lady and I, we had, it's like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, and everything's upstairs, and there's like a basement that we actually like lived in, so we could rent out the upstairs, just hustling the Airbnb thing. And like the basement's just like, I don't know, it's dark and cold, and like, it is what it is. And I'm like, I want to sleep upstairs. And I'm just like lay on the couch, watch TV, or like drag a mattress out and lay there. It's the injury situation. When like a bird flies into the window, you're supposed to put them in like those shoe boxes, like a concussion box.
That's same scenario?
It's kind of same.
That's what you're comparing yourself to? Is it like an injured hummingbird?
It's a bird in the window scenario.
I mean,
it's very similar.
Sparrow smokes window, sleeps inside, watches TV from bed, and comfy
living
couch.
room bed.
Yeah, okay, makes sense. This pencils out.
I don't know
From
why.
what I understand,
I think it's easier to just get like the dogs in and out and shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
I've actually been told that you're kind of your best type of scenario, like your dream in life, is to just kind of have to lay in the living room and watch TV, though.
There is times.
Times. I just spent 2 weeks with you on a boat, and you were...
But in my defense, all right, I just did like July through October, like 2 a.m. is when time I get up to work, and I'm like sleeping in either my camper or a tent. And I have to say, shout out to Dustin Anderson and Zandy Anderson, because that's where I live when I'm doing all the fishing shit. I hate to bring it back up, sorry. But then like I get home and I'm just like, fuck, dude, I just want to like chill. And then Jake is always like, dude, there's like this sick fucking rave, like underground DJ guy on Tuesday night. I'm like, delete my fucking number, loser. I'm like, rave. I'm like, you're fucking 42 years old.
Oh, good stuff.
All right, we're going to talk goggles and we're going to talk Dragon. So gear up for the snow season with Dragon Alliance. The brand who is celebrating their 30th anniversary this year just released their latest snow goggle, the NFX Mag, packed with next level features like their proprietary Luma lens, color optimizing lens technology, and Swift Lock Magnetics lens changing system. Everybody loves those magnet lenses. They also got armored venting, they got OTG compatibility, infrared radiation lens options, and bonus lenses. You hear that? Bonus lenses. Now, if that weren't enough, this kit is one of the best values on the market. The NFX Mag, like all Dragon styles, provides riders with the kind of high-end technology you want at a price you need. So head on over to dragonalliance.com and use promo code BOMBHOLE20, all caps, for 20% off your total purchase, valid through December 31st, with the exception of their Black Friday and holiday site-wide sale. Again, that's promo code BOMBHOLE20 for 20% off your order, and get yourself some Dragons.
You know what I feel like you and Austin well, I've never sled with Austin or you actually, but Brian, like you guys are really good at doubling. There's an art to good double.
Yeah, for sure. And there's an art to being a good doubler.
Yes.
Like, you got to stay the fuck out of the cockpit. You get a lot of people. Brian's harder because he has shorter arms. Same with Ejac. And they're, like, kind of in there. And I'm pretty lengthy. Like, I'm longer that way than I am.
Rajon Rondo reach.
Yeah, and if you're in there and you can't fucking get across, that's when it...
Yeah, stay out of the cockpit.
Yeah, but
stay neutral.
Stay neutral.
Stay in the middle. Keep your weight centered.
There is an art to the doubling though, because like a lot of people just drop the hammer and then it just gets harder and harder, and you're trying to maintain the double track, but yet get to the top smooth, and then maybe there's some showboating somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Well, it's harder on a ski-doo, obviously, because you're bouncing around so much, and there's trenching everything out, right?
Inaccurate.
That's
Fake
totally
news.
inaccurate.
That's actually fake news.
Inaccurate.
You know, I remember one time I was doubling Brian, and it was like this big face, and I was like, all right, hop off. And he just stared at me, and I'm like, okay, well, I can't really do anything until you decide to jump off.
Someone's got to make a move here.
Yeah, so it was just like, we're just kept climbing and kept climbing. It was like Braveheart, you know, like hold, and
Now? No. Now? Those are some of the funniest scenarios, though, when you get into like a shitty situation. On you're like, bail. You know, just
Oh my
screaming
God!
at
Think
each other.
about last year at Cliff Creek. We're all out there, and
Oh, yeah.
who is it that you were doubling?
I was doubling Carter, I think, or no, I was doubling Gooch.
No, because I was with Carter.
Yeah.
And we were going, and like the two of us, it's two sleds kind of going up the same hill, and yeah, Curtis is doubling Gooch, and Carter's doubling me, and we're both kind of going up the same face at the same time, and Carter and I are on a Polaris, and these two are on Kurt's ski. I know, why am I telling the story?
It starts whistling.
And we're like ripping up, and you can hear Curtis like, and I'm looking at Carter, and we start kind of I was like, do not fucking let this happen. Do not let this happen.
Carter's
Like,
driving.
I was like, we are not quitting. Just like pin and bury this throttle, like, and of course we get to the point, and I'm like, you're fucked, and I jump off, hop off, and these two idiots just like right past. I was like, it was a low point of my winter for sure.
the whistle wagon made it right to the top.
It did. It was painful to watch, actually.
Yeah, that sounds like a skidoo to me. That's what that sounds like. I heard you guys went to Alaska and got stuck on a glacier once. You guys
Oh
want
my
to tell
God.
that story?
That was actually, that was a great one. With Colin Wiseman. Still love you, man. Sorry about this talk earlier. No, there's no offense there.
He's gonna love it. The amount of shit he gives me about boogie boarding is like, this is all gonna come back full circle.
Okay, so Snowboarder Journal Trip and Smart Wool Trip collab with Alaska Backcountry Guides at that time. With Champ, was that
No,
through?
ASG, Alaska Snowboard Guides.
Snowboard Guides.
Yeah.
Snowboard Guides. We were gonna fly out to Glacier Camp and then split board. Favorite things to do. Based on a glacier, and then tour some peaks around there and film. And we actually got a couple days in the helicopter before that were productive. And then we flew out there. We took one run, like walking up, snowboarding down, got some stuff, and then this fucking blizzard rolled in for like, we were supposed to be out there for 3 days or 4 days.
I think only 3 or something. And
3
we
days.
ended up out there like 6 or something.
Yeah, 6 or
Or
7.
seven?
And night one, we had like this probably 8-man Arctic oven tent, and it was like no joke blizzard style. And it like had like all these conduit, like metal conduit pieces, and they all like meet into like a big star at the top. And like heater in the tent, it's like plush living, you know? And blizzard came in, crazy winds, and it just started snapping. And then the tent flattened, and then it was like Austin had a stupid Himalaya suit, which is like actually the perfect piece of equipment instead of the Mount Bachelor parking lot that's like, you know, meant for this.
It's a North Face product, by the way. Just to,
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Here we go. And he had 2 of them. So Passion and him getting the suits, they go out and they're like trying to fix it. And they quickly realize like, it's not savable. So then we're like trying to like wedge it up somehow and build a snow wall. And then we finally like admit defeat. But like Eric, Jackson, Mary Rand, and I, we're still in the tent. And it's like, you know, just violent. And that's night one. So Passion and I go across.
not admitting defeat. They don't want to leave the tent. You're like, this is not getting fixed. Like,
Yeah.
you need to bail. We need to get into other tents and stuff.
Yeah, Eric was in there last. He really didn't want to move. And then we, so Passion and I, they had like a 2-person gearman tent, or gear tent, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
That we jumped into, and it was like a 1-person tent. Like we woke up like, you know, like face to face. And I forgot to zip it all the way up. So we also woke up with like 2-foot snowdrift across our legs. But the sleeping bags were quite nice. I mean, we were warm. Austin got in his hem suit, jumped in his sleeping bag, and just went face down in the snow. And he was fine. I got great photos of that. He just woke up with like snow all over his face. And then Eric and Mary went into the tent with Colin, Liam, and Blair. And then the next day we ended up digging this like snow cave that was big. You know, it was comfy, but it was like 6 days of laying in a cave in a sleeping bag and like get out to pee, eat. I mean, I say we were roughing it, but like guides were there making us lunch, making us breakfast. We were shitting in paper bags, but that was like kind of a weird technique. You like shit in like a lunch paper bag, like you're bent over holding it up and then you put that into a plastic bag and then into a thing. Wasn't that the process?
Yeah, and imagine trying to do that in the middle of a blizzard.
Oh yeah,
in the middle of a glacier.
It did suck.
And they made it seem like you were like, you were saving the planet by doing this. And you're like, really? Who is ever going to see this? So yeah, it was a messy scene for sure.
I remember one of the biggest meltdowns of the trip was between Colin and Liam, because they're like their tent had like this nice vestibule, and Liam's like, "Fuck that, I'm not going out there." So he took a shit in the vestibule into the paper bag, like no mess, but it was just like really disruptive.
Big to do.
Yeah, it was.
But we basically stayed in a cave for 5 days or so.
Sounds like heaven for you.
No,
it was paradise.
It was not.
We had Mary read. Read what was the book?
Oh, what was it? It was like
the Barbarian.
Like
surfing,
the surf traveling. She was a trooper.
Yeah, she was.
I mean, she was stuck with all of us in the cave and the trash talking and the.
And you didn't zip up the tent.
Yeah. What was the? Oh yeah, last morning, still super kind of snowy, foggy. We hear a helicopter coming, and the guides came into the cave that we're in. They're just like, leave everything, get in the heli. We're just like running out in our long underwear. Get in the heli. That was probably the scariest helicopter flight I've ever been on. It was like full white, and you just like fly it like a mountain and then stop for a second, and then like just kind of going like spot to spot. And we got out and we left all of our shit, and then it came out the next day. Got better, I think.
Yeah, he's like staring down at an iPad to kind of follow his way out, because I think there was something to do with like if we had been out there for another day, we were gonna have to walk out.
We were getting ready to walk out.
And it was gonna be 20 miles of touring to get back out to like anywhere where they could actually come get us.
2 glaciers, 2 passes, roped in. I was kind of fired up for that.
Yeah, I was kind of into it too at that point.
But at the same time, I was like, that's gonna suck when someone goes in a hole or something.
Yeah.
But like, would have been a great story at the end. But I was glad. Yeah, definitely ready to get out of there.
And the pirates, they
oh yeah.
They're like, don't tell anybody, because we had to leave everything out there. And they're like, don't say where you guys were or what you guys were doing or anything, because they were worried about sled pirates. Like, and we're like, what the fuck are sled pirates? And they're like, these dudes will know, like, they know that you guys are all with film crews and stuff, and you've left everything out there. And they were concerned, like, people were going to sled from Valdez in and go steal all of our shit.
Take all of our shit.
Because it was kind of end of the season. It was really late in the season. That was like the big issue, is like the helicopters were leaving and everything. And yeah, we were stuck up there.
Yeah, for how shitty that could have been, it was like,
it's pretty chill.
Super plush. It was actually super fun. And we have a fun story about it.
Yeah, for sure.
What were you guys doing out there?
Nothing really.
No.
Like,
it was a snowboard journal. What was the name of
great magazine, by the way. Great magazine.
Yeah, fantastic magazine. Photo editor is a great human.
I mean, he's hot too.
Yeah,
he's like
good looking
hot.
man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We were Snowboard Journal story.
What was the name of the video now? We're spacing, but
I can't remember either.
Yeah, they did like a little. Liam Gallagher like filmed a little video on it, and then Colin kind of shot everything, and
we were going insane. Like Blair dug down into the glacier and made like this insane bathroom. It was nice.
Yeah, it was nice.
All right, we got a couple Patreon questions here. It's from Charles Nuccio, aka Chuck Nacho. He says, "Do you still have an ender left in you?"
Getting tired, Chuck. Maybe. We'll see. We're gonna make a movie this year, so anything can happen. Probably not.
10 barrel.
10 barrel produced production, and I'm filming with Ben Ferguson and Eric Jackson, so probably not.
So they're gonna put you in a house, fill it full of beers, and just
set us free.
Set you free.
2 filmers, sick house, and a great backcountry area, and we'll see what comes of it.
Just basically a bunch of shells of humans on top of like pat downs, like
yeah, basically
hungover.
Heavy breathing.
All right,
you go first.
Thomas McGrath wants to know Dirksen Derby or Snake Run Rally.
That's a great question. I think they're both good for different reasons.
Where's the Snake Run? Where is that? I know it's in Oregon, but
it's been at Hoodoo. It wasn't like near Bachelor. They're just different. They're kind of not comparable. Dirksen's race is a little more user friendly for sure. Snake Run Rally is a little more rowdy. Event wise, I'd probably choose. I don't know. I mean, Dirksen's event's bigger, but the Snake Run Rally's course is way more fun. No offense, Dirksen. I also love you. Fuck, I'm going down.
No invite back to the Rancho Relaxo after this.
Yeah.
Silk, you want to hit the Andrew Cruz Patreon question?
Yeah. It says, "Hey Curtis, was curious about your opinion. Does surfing make you a better snowboarder, or snowboarding make you a better surfer?"
They're both totally different. And in a weird way, this kind of is another off topic. That's kind of one of my biggest pet peeves is when like people compare like snowboarding and skateboarding and surfing and snowboarding. I mean, there is huge similarities, but they're different sports, right? Like, I don't know. That one always grinds my gears. Like, oh, that was skate style, and you're like, yeah, I guess I don't know, or like, I don't know. There's or like the surf stuff, like, oh, it was a surfy turn, which I get it, but like I'd rather see it just separate a little bit, I guess. I don't know. It's like one you're in the ocean, one you're in the fucking mountains. It's, But maybe, I don't know. I'm a decent surfer. Like I am sufficient at it, but I'm not like a good surfer by any means.
Like I disagree.
I can paddle around and catch waves and stuff.
You got run over by a naked boogie boarder at age 12 or whatever. You've been surfing for a long time.
I'm never going to hear the end of that one.
No, and I think if I think about it, like thinking of snowboarders that surf, like you're definitely up there with like the.
Yeah, he's top tier.
Like Brock and
Judd.
And
Brock and Judd are messed up.
But they grew up right there. Like you're like Oregon kid, like. Gabe Taylor.
Gabe Taylor's insane.
I've seen you,
Chris Hotel was insane too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've seen you get barreled.
Yeah.
So you're not, if you're getting barreled, you're not just a mediocre surfer.
Yeah, no,
know who's a mediocre surfer? Me. I'm on a wave surf. I'm going dead straight. You know what I mean? That's
move.
Move. There's somebody in front of me. They're getting run over. I can't turn. You know what I mean?
I'm a good enough surfer where like I travel around and I surf a lot, and I can usually kind of like blend in.
Don't you have a wave surfboard?
Yeah, like a river wave surfboard, but through Travis Yamada's company. So it's not like I'm good enough.
You got a pro model?
Yeah, pro model.
He's got a pro model surfboard.
Yeah, exactly. And
I'm a mediocre surfer.
It's Travis Yamada's company, Cubicle Surfboards, he was just like, hey, what do you think? Like we were talking surfboard design. I was like, hey, this would be cool, and he made it, and then he put my name on it, which was kind of.
So you got a pro model surfboard?
Yeah, river wave surfboard.
No big deal.
B-Fox has come a long way.
Yeah, B-Fox surfs well.
What about, have you surfed with ALO recently?
Dude, I haven't surfed with ALO in a long time, but I've been surfing a lot of ALO surfboards, and he's he's the best. One of them. You know who else is really freaking good is Brian Iguchi.
Really?
Oh, he's crazy good.
Yeah, I randomly went on a trip with him to Chile, and we surfed a lot of the left-hand points in cold water, and I was like, oh, this guy fucking rips. He's good. Blair's really good, too. Blair surfs probably more than all of us.
And Gooch is in that river, like the river, the lunch counter up in Jackson.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
crazy.
and the snake.
Yeah, it's wild. He's out there all the time, or like in the summer, like, but he'll like pick it up like super fast, like just go out there and be like, oh, yeah, and I'm like, he's like, Pash, you should come check it out. And I'm like looking down there, I'm like, not a fucking chance, man. Like,
you're just getting washed down a fucking whitewater rapids.
So then I fall, and then I go through that.
legitimately, people are paying for rapid trips. Like they're like floating by you. I was like, no fucking way am I going out there.
How's Pash on the surfboard?
I don't think we've ever surfed. He's been known to bug. Actually, that's a funny.
He's more of a American. He's a boogie guy.
I was really hoping that this story. So
was he the naked boogie boarder?
No, it wasn't his dick that touched my leg.
Although it has.
Okay, here we go.
So Pash is a boogie guy.
I got actually two good Pashley stories that I have to tell since he's sitting there.
Yes.
But we go on a Smartwell trip to, where was that? Vancouver Island. Tofino. And that was a random one. He's like, you want to go to Tofino? Yeah, let's go. And he brought the ultra runner dude who was hilarious. What was his name again?
Paul. I'm spacing Paul. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah.
His name's Paul.
Yeah, Paul.
Great guy. Ultra runner dude. And then like Austin Smith, Jake, Price, and I.
No.
What? Who else is there?
No. Jake was not part of this.
Well, no. Jake was our plus one.
We get
you always get a plus one on the Smartwell trips, which is nice.
Let me just tee up the beginning of this, and then Kirk can take it from here. But we show up in Port Angeles. Scott Sullivan is an old buddy and whatnot, so my wife's there too. We show up to Port Angeles, and we're hanging out with Scott and everything, and we're down at the Straight Slices Pizza Shop. Good little place if you're ever out there.
Fantastic place.
And we're hanging and waiting for these guys to show up, and Kurt and Austin show up, and they're like, hey, Pash, what's the +1 scenario? And I'm like, what is the +1 scenario? What is that? And they're like, well, we kind of brought Jake. And I was like, what do you mean you're kind of going to bring Jake? They're like, well, no, we didn't kind of bring, he's here. And like, he comes like, I was like, okay. Like, yeah, Jake's on the trip now too. Great, cool. And so then we continue across and go to Victoria, continue there. You go for there.
We go up, the surf's pumping, have a nice place on the beach. We go to dinner. So we start surfing. waves are big, and Pash is like, I'm gonna go fuck with these guys. I'm gonna go boogie boarding out there and talk shit to him. And it's like there's a crazy riptide, right? We're in this Cox Bay, and there's a crazy riptide right next to these rocks. And somehow he gets stuck in there, and it's pulling him out. He's trying to come back in. I mean, I didn't see it. I was in the water, but you were like clung to the rocks at one point. Were you?
No flippers.
No, oh yeah. Didn't have the fins or flippies. I don't know what you call
You didn't have web feet either.
Didn't have the web feet.
Dude, it was a fucking traumatizing experience for me. And
He was kind of shook a little bit.
The story really goes. I'm from Michigan. I grew up in Colorado. And so, like, I am not a beach person at all. And they're like, and these guys are, it's like Austin, Brian, and Kurt, and they're like, oh, yeah, we're surfers, da-da-da. Like, we love this stuff. Yeah. And so they're like, oh, we're going to go out. And I'm like, what is with, like, surfers always running everywhere? They're always running on the beach. Like, I'm like, is the ocean going somewhere? Like, what's the hurry? Like, can you not just walk in there? And so I was like, and there was an opportunity to, like, there was some bright green boogie board, and I'm like, dude, let's film this little skit, like me making fun of surfers. Like, this is going to be a good time. And I proceed to, like, so we start filming this whole skit. We can give it to you. It's a really priceless piece. And so I'm, like, joking around, like, doing, and I'm like, they're always stretching, and they're always doing all this stuff, like limbering up, and then just go running into the ocean. And I do this exact same thing with this bright green boogie board. No flippers or anything. I'm not a boogie boarder either at this point. Now apparently I am. Pretty big one. And they're like, oh, just go into the rip and you'll get pulled out and then you'll be able to catch some waves and everything. I was like, okay, cool. So I go in and I'm just getting sucked to fucking sea. Like,
he's
gone. And they're like waving me and I'm like, yeah, I'm waving too. And they're like, and then I find out they're like actually trying to wave me in. Like, no, you're like going way out. And so I finally get out and I'm like worked at this point. And I finally get out and it's like seas are rough. It's also dark and super
rough.
It's also dark and super cold. Like also apparently maybe kind of sharky, or I think it's sharky. And so I'm like, fuck this. And so the first wave that kind of comes, like it kind of like grabs me and I'm like, I'm going in all the way in and I kind of go and I'm like, tung, 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 and it just pushes me back into the channel and I'm just getting sucked back out again. I'm like, fuck this. And I turn and I see one rogue wave. I'm like, this is my only opportunity. And there's like a jetty in between Cox Bay and Chesterman's, I guess it is.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of big rocks that come out.
I'm really blowing out all the Tofino zone right now, and I just see this one rogue wave. I'm like, this is my only opportunity. And the rogue wave grabs me and it like flings me and I go straight onto rocks, starfish style, and grab onto the rocks and then just like scurry up the rocks. And I'm so worked at this point, I flop over the edge. And the only thing that these assholes I'm like basically even with them in the lineup can see is like my arm.
This little boogie board dangling down. So good.
Just flapping on the rock. And I just get up, stand up, and walk back into shore. Like, walked back on the rocks the whole way in. And that probably is the last time I've been in the fucking ocean. And now everybody thinks I'm a pro fucking boogie boarder. It's crazy.
Crying, laughing in the water.
Oh. Yeah, nearly fucking drowned.
Good times.
Yeah, I'm fucking allergic to sand now. Fuck that shit.
Good times.
Okay, so that seems like story number one. It seems like you had another one potentially as well.
Oh, yeah. So we're in Idaho filming, and for whatever reason, Pashley got an awesome house. And it was tight, kind of like we were a little short on bed space. For whatever reason, Austin like slept in the closet in Pashley's bathroom.
Oh, God.
And I don't know how it happened, but they had the same toothbrush or like same style. And I'll never forget it. We're like in the kitchen eating breakfast, and Pashley comes out like brushing his teeth, and Austin's like, Pashley, I think that's my toothbrush. And Pashley's like, no, it's not. Austin's like, no, that's my toothbrush. He's like, no. He pulls it out. He's like, no. And like takes off running into the bathroom. Pretty sure he was vomiting in there or something. It was fucking, it was so good.
I mean, people need to see. Maybe you need to get a photo, zoom in on Austin's mouthpiece.
I don't know. I also don't know if these stories are going to be funny for the random consumer, if it's just like more for us.
They're great. All right, where are we? Let me look at my notes here. We've ran through a lot of stuff. I guess it could be a time to talk about the shit that we don't really want to talk about.
Yeah. The stuff that nobody wants to hear about.
Fishing.
Boogie boarder over my... That's just...
Do we need to go back to naked boogie boarder?
No,
we could revisit that.
We're good. We're good. That chapter's closed. We're good.
Okay. Well, let's talk about Colombia, because you were on Vico forever.
Yeah.
Now you got a Colombia deal?
Yeah. Colombia is... I've been with them 4 years ago now. And they've been nothing but fantastic to me. I'm stoked to be with them. My deal is pretty interesting. It's half snowboarding, half fishing. So like I do a lot of the fishing stuff on one side, and then the snowboarding stuff on the other. And there's been some pretty exciting stuff happening over there. You know Mike Dawson from 32, designer?
Yep.
He was at Nitro forever ago with like when Fox and Austin and like way back when Chino was team manager. He's the new outerwear designer at Columbia.
Sick.
Crazy.
Friggin', I just met with them and starting to work on new stuff, and it's pretty exciting. And they're and then the fishing side's rad. They're like, I get to go on like saltwater fishing trips. It's for free. They take me to go do that and create fishing content with them. It's great.
Are they bigger in snow or in fish, do you think?
Fish, for sure.
Fish, okay.
Yeah, their fish business is huge.
I mean, but dude, they've been around it forever in the snow world. I mean,
Ever.
I had a bugaboo. I remember vividly
Ever.
the bugaboo.
It's crazy because they own Mountain Hardware too. So they're like, they don't, like Mountain Hardware handles like the super high end stuff, but then like they're kind of like the middle of the road thing.
They make waders and everything too?
No waders.
No waders, okay.
It's just like sun shirts and stuff. It's crazy. Most of their business is like in the southeast for like the saltwater world. And then I guess I'm kind of like the Northwest, trying to get it going marketing wise in the Northwest.
Yeah, because it's so much like flats fishing and stuff, eh?
Totally.
I heard a story from iMan that he went fishing with you and you left your waders on like a heater and then you had a hole in your waders.
Oh my God, dude.
And you had to go fishing with a hole in your waders?
Dude, that was insane, actually. It was Jess Gibson, Ika, and I. And we floated this river. It's kind of a secret one, so I'm not going to name it. But it's a little ways from Bend, and it was like late fall. And we, like, the first day it was like 50 degrees, super nice. And then that night it went to like straight up 0 degrees. And we're all in this 1 6-man tent with a buddy heater, just like freezing our nuts off. And I wake up in the morning, I'm like, what's that? What's that smell? Because like brought the waders in to dry out, and I like kicked them off the fucking buddy heater and just melted a hole in my waders like that big. And we're like, you know, you float down X amount, camp, and then you have like a whole nother day of fishing before you get to the truck. And like the river's like icing up on the sides. We're like breaking ice in the raft. It sucked. It really sucked. But I like put like I had 2 trash bags. I put them like up to here. It actually wasn't that bad. Like the water didn't end up getting above the trash bags, but it was freezing.
Pro tip, use trash bags.
Yeah.
Silk D,
on the inside.
we got a slew of Patreon questions about fishing. You want to tee a couple of those up?
Yeah, we got a handful. Those are probably the only people listening to this section. Shout out you guys.
All snowboarders have signed off by now.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry, guys.
We got one from Nar Doggy.
Great name.
Curtis, besides being a pro snowboarder, you're also a prolific steelhead fly fishing guide. Can you tell us more about why steelhead are so special? What you think both sports have in common that keeps you coming back to them year after year?
See this?
Bonus question.
See this?
Why do you love hoarding old fly reels?
See, this is the worst part to have Pashley here for. Okay.
Pashley's a marathon runner.
It's so
he doesn't
hard.
have a leg to stand on.
It's so hard to even answer this question with you two sitting right there.
Was that Eric Leon that sent that in?
No.
Maybe an alias.
Yeah,
I know who it
exactly.
was.
Burner account.
But, okay, steelhead are so special because they're basically rainbow trout, right? But in the Northwest, rainbow trout sometimes will leave the river and they go out to the ocean to get a lot bigger, and they swim like all the way over to Japan, like out the Aleutian Islands over to Japan and then back down, come back into the river. So they live in the river for 2 years. And then they spend anywhere from 1 to 4 years out in the ocean swimming around, and somehow they don't get caught, and then they got to come back up to Columbia, swim over all the dams we made, and then get back up into the river. So, like, it's basically a freaking rainbow trout on steroids, right? It's like, and your normal rainbow trout's like that big, and steelhead get up to like, whatever, 20 pounds is like a huge, huge one, like fish of a lifetime. But it's just the fact that after all the stuff we've done to them with the dams and farming to whatever, like there's too many people on the earth I don't know if there's too many people, but there's a lot of human interaction with them, and they're overfished, blah, blah, blah. But the fact that they're still surviving and they're coming back, they're really, really tough fish. And the other thing is they like fight harder than any other fish in the river. So like you hook one and you're going to get annihilated most of the time. And that's kind of what makes them so special. And now the runs haven't been doing that as well as they used to be. They're definitely like in a record. They have been in a record low the last few years. This year was a little better, and hopefully we're in like an up cycle to where they start doing better. But yeah, they just have a crazy journey to get all the way back to have some dude that's paying me $800 to go fucking put a hook in its fucking lip, and I'm just standing there like, you don't deserve that. You do not deserve that. No.
What else we got, Silk?
We got one from Meekorn something like that.
Mike Eichhorn, I think that's my boy.
Oh yeah, shout out. Question is Skagit or Scandi?
So it's Skagit or Scandi, and Skagit's a line system that was developed up on the Skagit River, right by Bellingham, up by Mount Baker, and it's a much more compact head for throwing. You guys are like, I'm speaking Spanish to you two right now.
There's people interested.
There's people
4 or 5 people interested.
Solid 3 or 4, yeah.
So it's not. Yeah. So a Skagit line, it's a shooting head that you keep outside of the rod. It's shorter, thicker. You guys have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about.
I know shorter and thicker. Are you kidding?
It's mainly for
story of my fucking life. Continue, Kurt.
Zero chance. Fishing in the winter, you got to throw sink tips because the water's colder. The fish don't move up to the fly to eat it. So you got to throw sink tips. You need more of a compact, thicker, more of a mass head to like turn the sink tip and the fly over, bigger flies, blah, 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 which then gets down to the fish because they won't move to it. And then Scandinavians from Scandinavia, or Scandi is from Scandinavia, sorry. And there it's like more of a floating line system for like in the summer when you're fishing for steelhead, the water's warmer and they'll move up to the fly, which is another reason why they're so great to fish for is they're super aggressive. They're not eating in the river. They're just like the king of the river. So they want to like, you swing a fly at them and they just want to kill it. So when they grab it, they usually grab it good and you're just like, oh shit, it's on.
Okay, this is all catch and release?
No, we have a hatchery program. The wild fish are in such a downturn right now and there's not enough of them to keep them. So every fish that has an adipose fin on their tail, you have to let go. That's a wild fish to let them swim up and spawn. And then the fish that are born in the hatcheries, they clip that fin off, and then those get the rock shampoo, as I call it, and then into the cooler.
I like that.
If the guys want to keep them, it's so fun. Like it's funny because it's a different world now. Like I still get to fish a little bit, but most of the time, like everyone's like, "Oh, you're a fishing guide. You go out and fish all the time." I'm like, I don't fish.
Why don't you explain what a fishing guide does on a daily basis? Because
I can tell you right here. Kurt sits, he like holds this back thing right here and then like sticks his hand in his waiter's here and just like stares and looks like majestic. He's like,
so where I have the outfitter business, it's like
what's it called? Let's get you some business here.
Jet boat fly guides.
Jet boat fly guides.
But we do drift boat trips and stuff as well.
Drift boats as well.
On the Deschutes is kind of a weird river because like where Pashley is and a lot of places out here, you can fish from a boat. So like you float down, you got your guys sitting in the boat, you never get out of the boat, right? Where I fish, it's illegal to fish from a boat, so you have to be, you just use the boat as an Uber, basically, getting from spot to spot. And, like a lot of my dudes that I get, they're like good anglers, but they're old. And a lot of the places we're waiting are like, everything, like we're running like the 2 or 3 pieces of class 3 whitewater in the powerboat. You'd fucking love it.
Yeah, the motorhead part of me love it.
Oh my God. It's like snowmobiling, but you just, it's crazy. I'll get you out there. Next time you're in Oregon, I'll even just run you up and down the river. We don't even have to fish.
Yeah. Even Austin's caught fish.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen this.
Yeah, it's shocking. But
fish
most
singular.
It's like old dudes and you're waiting right above these rapids. So the steelhead, they're swimming up the river to spawn, right? And they got to get through these huge rapids and then they're going to chill a little bit in these pools, these series of pools in between the rapids. So most of the time you're waiting with the guy or the gal, whoever it is, right above maybe a gnarly piece of whitewater. So like, you're kind of lifeguarding. A lot of times you're like a therapist, depending on what's going on in the dude's life. And you're just casting instructor, trying to get him to fish the fly the right way, doing the whole deal. And it has been hard the last few years with the downturn in the fish runs, but it's starting to get better and fishing's been good and people are stoked, Because like, dude, I got clients that have like, they'll go out on their own and fish for 4 years and never have an opportunity. And they come out and get one, they're like fucking in tears. And you're like, whoa, this is a crazy... like they are that special and it makes it that much more special when you work for them. And then when you can help them achieve their goal, it's pretty rewarding for sure.
That's good context. Understand how like rare it is to catch one of these. If those fish aren't running, are you catching like trout or?
Not for what, yeah. Well, yeah, I'll do a trout program in the spring and then we get like a big massive bug hatch out there called sandflies and stoneflies. God, the snowboarders are like, fuck this dude now. But yeah, so we like fish single-handers for trout and do a trout program in the spring, and then the steelhead start showing up in July, and that's my main business. So like July, this year I started July 12th, and I ended like October 5th when we go to Antarctica. It's like, I think I was booked through the day before we were supposed to get to Antarctica, but then the river blew out, so I had like 3 days off before we went to Antarctica. So I did have time to not forget my splitboard bindings, but I was still kind of like winding down.
Yeah, I mean, it's an easy mistake.
I want to hear about this jet boat. Sell me on the jet boat.
So the jet boat is fucking awesome. So like the way I started, right? You like row a raft down the river through all these rapids, and it's like the real deal. It's like, you know, people.
Polaris of the river, am I right?
Yeah. The drift boat would be the Polaris.
Yes,
The jet
exactly.
boat would be the Skidoo. Yes, great comparison.
You're on point. You're on point.
Yeah, who makes the engine? Just curious.
No, I run a Mercury outboard, but Yamaha makes good stuff too. So when you're on plane,
He actually hooked his old supercharged Yamaha to the back of the jet boat.
thing hauls balls.
King, 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 king.
So it's just like an outboard motor, right? So instead of the lower unit being dropping down to a prop, it's got there's this company out of, I think it's San Miguel, California, or something like that. It's near Sacramento. They put a jet on the bottom of it. So there's a little thing that hangs below the jet. That's what we call the shoe or the foot, and it hangs about, you know, like an inch or two below the boat, and it sucks in the water, goes into the impeller, and it shoots it out the back. So I have a 200 on my boat, but when you put the jet conversion on it, it drops it down to a 150. But like a 200 horsepower on a 21 on the boat that I have is like way overpowered. But like for running the rapids, like a lot of times I'm doing like 10-day camp trips with different groups throughout that 10 days, but you're running up like I'm like barely staring over the gear, and I got to cook in the boat and all the tents, all the stoves, all the blah, 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 shitter, you know? So you need all the power to get up the river. And the Deschutes is as far as like, there's more technical ones in Idaho, like the Snake and Hell's Canyon stuff. It's just bigger water, but the Deschutes there's rapids, and it's just all bedrock. So like you fuck up, you're going to fucking send somebody out of the boat because you're going to park it on something firm and they're going to go flying. So like, it's a real game. Like I've been hazed pretty hard in snowboarding, obviously, in the era that we grew up with. It's different times for sure. And in surfing, but like the worst hazing I've ever experienced in my life was breaking into like the fishing guide scene where I operate. Dudes are fucking dicks. But now they're all like really good friends.
So you know the river really well to where you can navigate it, and you know where all the rocks are.
So we run up like basically in the dark, and you know exactly where every single little piece is. Like you're looking at markers on the bank and then markers in the river, and at some points you're like, you've got bedrock on like, it's not that, but it's like a foot on either side of the boat. And then we get cowboys like, you could buy a jet boat, buy a boater's pass, and run up the Deschutes, and people try it and they fucking wad up hard. It's amazing.
I've seen the mini jet boats.
Yeah.
The guy, one of my buddies has a mini jet boat, and he just fucking hauls ass.
Yeah. There was one that came up a couple years ago, but it's like,
Your jet ski experience help you with this at all?
Yeah.
I had the jet boat before the jet ski experience for sure.
I did the New Zealand jet boat.
Oh, yeah.
Have you guys ever done that?
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. It's
wow.
haul ass, do 360s and shit.
You can't really do 360s in this thing because the pump sucks out, but you can like whip shitties and stuff. And the way my boat's laid out, it's like I stand in the back and then there's 4 seats, but you're sitting low. So like sitting down, so like I've had my buddy who's another guy run my boat, and I sit in the front. I'm like, I forgot how fucking scary this is because you're looking at waves like it's the real deal. And there's like, you know, you get some fun people in the boat, and you can turn it on. Say the fishing's a little shitty that day, and on the way down, maybe we light it up a little bit. You know,
how many cans are consumed on a trip like this generally?
So when I'm running the powerboat, no drinking whatsoever.
I'm just talking about maybe clientele.
Oh, clientele. Totally depends on the group. Some dudes, so on a normal trip, say in July, I'm meeting my guys at 4 a.m. at the boat ramp, and they're popping 10s as soon as I get in the boat. And most of my dudes are pretty under control, but like I've definitely had to put people like, no, you're sitting in the boat, don't take off your life jacket. You can't fucking say my name right now, you know, like, and then like talking to their buddy, like your friend's a liability. I'm responsible for him, but you're responsible for him, you know?
Who's running the groover? That's what I want to know.
I usually have to deal with that, which sucks.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
like
a nice...
10 days of human shit. And then you're just like pouring it into a hole. Or they have like this machine that like kind of works, but like it's like a dishwasher, but for a freaking 10-gallon tub of shit. You put it in there, you cam strap it, and it's like this door, and then you like cam strap it down. So you have to like fold it. So you like get it kind of close, and then you kind of like heave-ho it, and it always splashes out. So you kind of like chuck it and run back, and like definitely have thrown up while doing that. And then you open it up, and there's always just like shit all over the tie down and stuff. And you're like, it's $5 a cycle. Sometimes I've drained like $25 to like get all the crap out of it.
Oh my god.
Sounds like a good job. Wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning,
Dude.
deal with people's shit.
Yeah, everyone's like, "Oh, you're fishing good, it's so fun." And like,
Yeah, maybe catch one, maybe not even see one for a month or so.
Can we throw any clients under the bus? Any good client stories?
Oh, there's a couple good ones I know
there's a
of.
couple real good ones. There's
I mean,
one.
it's anonymous, so it's fine. I
Yeah.
think.
We got I had one guy. So I started out working for another guy. This guy Jeff Hickman, great dude. He kind of showed me
It's
how to
supposed
run
to be
the river.
anonymous, Curtis.
Well, I'm just saying I was working for his outfit at the time. So working for him with his camp cook Colby, and it was just the other guy Barrett and I were out there, and this guy came on like a blog trip where it's like some blog guy brings out a bunch of guests for like two or three trips, and this guy stayed for a double. So we'll do 10 days, 3 camps in that 10 days, and he stayed for whatever it is, 7 or 8 of the days, and he just like couldn't figure it out. This guy was from out east somewhere, trout fisherman, expected crazy results, wouldn't like figure it out. So when we fish, we like move through water and try and find the fish, and he would just stay in the same spot. Everybody else is catching a bunch of fish, whatever. He ends up catching randomly like one of the best to shoot steelhead I've ever seen, like a true 17, 18 pound fish, which is really big for there. And it was like to the point where it's like, I know there's like a fish that hangs on this ledge every now and then, and like you stand right there, flick it out. He's standing on dry land, whatever, it happens. Leaves the pool. We get it back in the pool. I'm like chasing the fish around, trying to get it back to him. We get in a screaming match because it's like he's standing on this ledge, it's 10 feet deep, and he's like, net it, net it. And I'm like, I can't net it. It's like the fish is 10 feet under the water. Like, it's not fucking happening. He's like, get it in the fucking net. Like, starts screaming at me, and I'm like, dude, you got to shut the fuck up and man the fuck up right now. Like, clamp down on the reel, lean back. We got to get the fish's head up to get in the net. And ended up landing it, and then we had service in camp, and he texted Jeff, my boss at the time, that the fishing was slow, and I sent him that photo, and I was like, how many of these have you seen last year? He's like, dude, this guy's a pain in the ass. But then he stayed for the double, so how that works, we run all the other guests out, go get ice, propane, fuel, all that stuff, and run back up with the new guys. And our camp cook, this guy Colby Richards, old hood snowboarder, was semi-professional for a stint there. Great dude. I think he's good friends with Kale Zima, maybe. But he stayed with him. The guy's like, oh, I want to take a shower. And he's like, okay, well, like most people like grab the Dr. Bronner's, jump in the river and just like do a quick scrub down. He's like, no, I was like told on the website there'd be like a shower tent and a shower. And we have it in camp. And Colby's like, okay, I'll set it up, you know? And then, so Colby starts setting up the shower tent, and the dude like gets naked. And he's standing over him while he's like pounding the steaks in, I guess. I wasn't there. But Barrett and I roll back up to camp with the new group of dudes. And Colby's like white-faced. He's like, dude, you're not gonna fucking believe what this guy just did to me. Like and like you're in the desert. It's like, you know, most days in the summer it's like 100 to 105, and Colby's on his hands and knees sweating, setting up this tent. And this dude's just standing over him naked. He was so pissed, so pissed. But like, I don't know. Most of the snowboarders are gonna hear this and be like, fucking.
No, it's a different life. It's a different life that I know nothing about. It's interesting.
Which has been like throughout, like I've been very fortunate as a snowboarder and like go to like fancy lodges and guided trips and blah, blah, blah. And it's like almost grounding for me in a way to be like on the other side of it and be like, okay, I'm not being a spoiled bitch for like, you know, like it's my turn to like try and like help these people have an awesome experience, I guess.
This is a good segue for a question from Jake Price.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
Hey, what's up, Bombhole? Chris and Pashley, and in the hot seat today, my brother, Curtis Ciszek. It's actually funny. My sister's last name is now Ciszek.
Mm-hmm.
That is one for your clan. That is fucking bullshit.
Boom roasted.
On to the first question I have for you. I'd like to go back in time to the worst day of my life is when you took me on a guiding fishing trip.
This is a
wondering
good
if
story
you can
too.
explain to the viewers what it's like to be on a jet boat fly guided tour. We all snowboard, but we all love fishing so much, and I love hearing you talk about it at the bar. You're the worst. That's it. All right.
Okay, thank you, I guess, Jake. So Ika's in town. Ika is actually a pretty good fisherman. He was into it for a bit. Hasn't been in a while. I think he's kind of over it, whatever. Ika's in town. We're going fishing. Jake's like, I want to go. We're like, okay. But we weren't in the jet boat. We're in a drift boat. And it's like 4-day float. And it's no roads in or out. Like once you put the boat in, you're committed, right? Like, So we put the boat in, we start floating around. We get like less than a mile from the boat ramp, and Jake's like, I don't feel that good. And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean? He's like, I don't know, I'm not feeling that good. And it's like another mile. He's like 105 out. He's in a puffy jacket, shivering in the front of the boat. And it's like, all right, trip's kind of over. So we just row way the hell down, set up camp, and then like get Jake situated. And then Ika and I just kind of hike around and fish from there, like the campsites. And then I'm like, dude, you know, like we're checking on him. I'm like, if it gets really bad, like you can evac out of it, you know, but you're like, you got to call the BLM and they got to either drive in or bring in a helicopter or something. And then the chances of like, you have to pay a car service to drive your truck around to the bottom. I'm like, my truck's not going to be there either to like take you to the hospital. If you have to go to the hospital, like if it's that bad, we can row out and like get an ambulance or, you know, try and figure something out. And like, he was just like, it was a 4-day trip and we just went from campsite to campsite and he was just in his tent the entire time, just like shaking, dying. And then I'll never forget, dude, pull the boat out of the water, get in the truck, start driving home. He's like, dude, I'm kind of feeling better. like fully ruined the trip.
Immediately fine.
Yeah. But that is the nice thing about the jet boat because we run like 20 miles up and you're just like, oh, you're not feeling good? 20 minutes from the boat ramp.
That's
Chill.
good shit.
Turn around.
Yeah.
It's my kind of fishing.
Yeah.
Fucking Jake.
I like that. All right, let's get into hot takes. We do this every episode. We like to start off with your greatest of all time or your MJ of snowboarding, both male and female. Who you got?
Male be Hawken for sure. And then on female side, Jana. And then Zoe's right there too.
Okay, you consider snowboarding an art form or sport?
Depends on what you're doing, I guess. You know, to me, I don't know. Yeah, art. I'm gonna go on art.
Bank slalom's kind of a sport.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you're racing.
For sure. For sure.
Okay.
So you're done with that.
Who's the most underrated in your opinion?
Right now? Oh, that's a hard question. I mean, are we talking like AMs or are we talking like dudes that are out there?
Just, I always look at it as like maybe your homie that didn't get the shine they deserve kind of thing.
Like didn't get the like the full shot?
Yeah, like, you know, we all have friends that are just incredible that maybe didn't get the ticket to ride, so to speak.
I mean, there's a lot of those. My brother was really fucking good, and he got hurt at a bad time and never did it. And then, like, I don't know, underrated. Oh, Chucky
Good
up
answer.
in Revy, yeah.
Okay, steel or powder?
Steel, no.
Skidoo or Polaris?
Are you fucking kidding me, Chris?
Skidoo.
Yeah, you might want to be careful with this one, Chris.
Skidoo.
How about Skidoo or Arctic Cat?
Skidoo.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay, best style or your favorite style ever?
Favorite style ever.
Oh, thanks, Kurt. Appreciate that.
Billy's up there for sure. Blair Hobnick might take it for me.
Where does Pashley stack in this kind of?
He's up there. Pash rips.
Oh, he does.
He is.
Okay. All right, just making sure.
Yeah.
Favorite method?
Favorite method? God, that's a freaking hard one. It's either Gabe or Ben, I think. Although it's kind of weird. Like, they grab in front of the binding a lot, too. I don't know. But not that I don't like that. It's just different. It's easier. I think it's easier to get a good tweak in front of the binding. But I do like both of their methods. I'm just going to say Gabe because Gabe's my favorite right now. Sorry, Ben. You were like right there. You're equal.
Ben, you almost had it.
You used to be my favorite.
This one's younger.
That new brown part. Whew.
Yeah. Whew. Yeah.
Okay, favorite snowboard video ever made?
Favorite snowboard video ever made? I mean, it's got to be Lame or maybe Brainstorm. That's up there too.
Favorite snowboard graphic?
I like the Whitlake one where he wrote all the names on the board. And it was like a picture of his girlfriend at the time. Or I could say a classic one too. I mean, yeah, that one. That one jumped out at me first. I'm going to stick with that one.
Yeah, I like that. Which brand was that with?
Lib.
That was the Lib one.
Yeah.
Yep, that was a sick graphic. Yeah, that was in Lame. He was riding that board, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. Pant over or under the high bag?
Dude, I don't even like, that's the shit. I think I go under now. I used to go over, now I'm under.
That was OG. Yeah, everybody went over back in the day. Heli boarding, 3 people, good times. You only got 3 seats. Aside from yourself, who you taking?
My brother and my 2 sisters.
Good answer. Dream sponsor.
Dream sponsor, Ski-Doo. Bombardier BRP, baby.
Great answer. Worst trend. Actually, let's go first try, go to backcountry step down trick.
Front 3. If anybody says otherwise, out of their mind. Might get a cab 5 in there every once in a while, but front 3 is usually the go-to.
Okay. Worst trend. What do you got?
Trend. Like, what do you mean by trend? Like what? Clothing or like?
Choose your own adventure. You can take it however you want it.
People, I don't know. How would I take that? People blocking opportunities for other people in a way, you know? Like, you get put in situations where you're like, hey, what do you think about this person getting on the, you know, stuff like that, or like getting on the program, or like, should they film for this movie, or blah, 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 and people blocking. I don't know if that's like a trend or not, but I hate seeing that when people shut people down to like when they're trying to grow their business or career in snowboarding.
That's a great answer. I love that. Okay, that's been it for hot takes. I like it. We always like to talk setups. What board you're riding and how you set it up?
I ride a 164 wide K2 Alchemist that Jay Stone designed. I got to help a little bit.
What size feet you got?
9.
So you go wide with a 9.
9.5, 10. But yeah, I just big board. Yeah, love that board. It's great. And shout out to Tommy J at K2, Megan, all those guys. They're great. And having Stone at K2 has been huge because, yeah, Jay Stone's, it's rad working with a board engineer that's like as good as you at snowboarding. So like you like feel something, you're like, what do you think about that? And he's like, dude, totally. I felt that too. And I'm thinking this. And like, I don't know, that guy's, he's good. He's really done rad things for the brand and the boards, and he's on it.
A lot of people like that board.
Yeah, that board's
That's
great.
the one Sage rides too?
I think he rides I think he might ride the Antidote more.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Are you pro or are you global am right now? Just asking for a friend.
I'm on the pro team.
Okay.
Somehow I got on before Gabe, who's insane. I don't know.
Nice. Congratulations.
It's just being old, I guess.
What bindings you running?
I run K2 bindings.
Are they good?
Yeah, the new ones are really good. And
Are you paid to say that?
Yes.
Okay, fair.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Just checking.
I had some battles with the old ones. We didn't like it, and then worked on the new ones, and the new ones are a lot better. They're back here.
What about split board bindings? Are you on K2 as well, or no? Just curious.
Yes, I am also on K2 stuff. Forget
Cool.
parts regularly, but that system does work well when you remember everything. But I'm a big fan of why ski all day for 2 runs when you can snowmobile for 60.
Yes. Good point. You do anything to your board? You do forward lean?
I do forward lean on my back binding, nothing on the front. Am I thinking that right? And then I set my board up. I go like 3.5 inches back.
So great for landing switch.
Yeah. No, I don't ride backwards more than 60 feet into the jump or 60 feet out of the jump.
He's going backwards that long. There's something wrong.
Yeah.
Turn, get around.
But then when you're like, okay, here we go, front 5. Yeah, this is gonna suck. You know?
Okay. Do you detune or anything?
No, but I do take all my boards in the beginning of the year. I take them into like the race shop and get a structure put into them and hotbox.
At which shop?
Powder House or the race place in Bend.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. And then what else you got? You got Smith?
Yeah, I got Smith, Smartwool, Columbia, obviously, Mount Bachelor, 10 Barrel. What else am I forgetting? I think that's it, right?
K2?
Well, yeah, K2, Obby. Shout out those guys.
Never seen that BCA deal or what? What's going on there?
I'm trying to work on the BCA deal. They just said no. They keep saying no. They're like, we don't need another middle-aged snowboarder. I'm like, I'm a snowmobiler.
I'm a fly fisherman. What are you talking about? Yeah. You don't have that demographic. Earlier, you mentioned it would be interesting to talk helmets.
Yeah. There is no reason why we all shouldn't be wearing them besides the look and the way they feel. And my sponsor Smith makes a great helmet. I wore some a bit last year, and then I didn't film in one. They just kind of felt funny for me from not wearing one forever. But yeah, I mean, I've been to the doctor's office when there's like, were you wearing a helmet? And you're just like, no, why? Oh, looks goofy. And like all the parents' kids that are looking up to you, you're like, why don't you wear a helmet? Oh, does it look cool? You know, it's like, there's really no good excuse to not wear a helmet. It's just, I think it's definitely trending that way too, where more and more people are starting to wear helmets. And I think it's a really good thing.
Absolutely. Have you heard the argument where on a powder jump, you have like more surface area, so you actually get rattled more? That's what people are saying.
That's real.
Yeah, like a lot of people, like I think Nils might be somebody who wears one when he's riding lines, wears one at the resort, but if he's hitting a cheese wedge, claims that it's like not as good because when you're like tomahawking your head like
that kind of makes
snow.
That kind of makes sense.
You know,
it's like pulling up and down and shit.
That.
Yeah, like it's more surface area, so you have worse whiplash. But I mean, obviously, if there's a rock, you're fucked. You know, so
Yeah, based on your tomahawking, Kurt, you might want to take this into.
yeah, you have a lot of tomahawking
Yeah.
experience.
Excuse
you could
me.
be a good tester for.
I've had a couple good ones.
I was looking back through some photos for Chris and everything for the crew here and whatnot, and reminded me back to came through some of the stuff from Japan with Yumi and Ejak.
Oh my God.
And there's some classic clips of photos where like it looks like Curtis is just like he's like testing the snow, but he's testing it with his face.
Yeah, it's just like
the full whiplash happens.
Oh God.
Well, we got some signed Kurt Dog prints. If you're down to sign them, shot by Alex Pashley over here. Debatable if they're in focus, but I think it's a pretty good photo.
No, it's a soft focus thing. Everybody knows that. It's art.
It's art, yes. It's blurry, but it's art. When it's blurry, it's art. So we'll have those on our site, bombhole.com. So also, and what's next for Kurt Dog?
This winter is the Timberale project we're going to work on. And then that goes until February. And then after that, I don't know, probably Whistler. And just jump in with somebody, try and film some more stuff. And then either Timberale's rad, they're always down to like share footage and compile stuff with something. And definitely going to do some sort of edit with K2 and hopefully Gabe Ferg and hopefully Parker. Love Parker too. He's a gem.
If people want to go fishing with you, how do they find you?
Most of the stuff through Instagram. Just hit me on Instagram. But it's getting pretty.
Is that jet boat fly guides or is it real jet boat fly
No,
guides?
it's not the real jet boat fly. It's jet boat fly guides. It's just hit me on Curtis Ciszek or jet boat fly guides. But we're pretty slammed. We're getting to the point where it's like cancellation list style, which is kind of exciting and exhausting, but it's cool.
Rad. Lastly, do you want to throw out any thank yous before we wrap this thing up?
Oh shit. So many people.
Good
God.
response.
I mean,
You're better off saying less than trying to go through the whole list because then you're going to forget
Yeah.
somebody.
family first, parents who are no longer with me, and then my siblings, sponsors, all my friends in Bend. Yeah.
Beauty. Well, hell of a banter fucking journey, boys.
Good times, boys.
It's been a bit
Appreciate
of a marathon, which is something Pashley's very familiar with. A bit of a banter marathon.
I'm so scared for this to come out.
Let the canceling begin.
Let your photos and frequency be in the past.
Sorry, Colin.
All right. Thank you for all the sponsors, everybody that supports us, all of our Patreon members, everybody that listens. Pash, thanks for coming and hosting.
Thank you, Chris.
Kurt, thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's been a good time. Of course, Silk D, thanks for being you.
Yeah,
Pleasure.
Smooth,
Yeah,
smooth back there.
Thank you.
All right. We got another episode coming at you next Wednesday. Over and out from the bomb hole.
We did it.